Yeah, it's a lot of fights happening right now. Man, these injuries stopping a lot of good fights right now. These injuries stopping a lot of good fights right now. And I had noticed one thing today. What was it, yesterday? I don't know when I noticed it, but it was this week. And the thing that I noticed the most out of everything was just from just observing things. Jamaine Ortiz, if you really look at the fights he's been in, ain't nobody dominated him, been close to stopping him or nothing. Been at 35-40. I was okay. Because I think he a good fighter. And I'm just looking around. I'm like, all right, he ain't had many options yet at 40 because he only fought at 40, what, twice? Well, once already. Twice it's going to be soon this weekend, Friday. But that last fight with the Teofimo fight, you know what I'm saying? Like, that deserved I felt like that was if that was a bitter Bibble situation, if any, because that was the same type of fight. The same thing Bibble did against Bitterbill. It's the same thing that Jamaine Ortiz did against Teofimo. For some reason, everybody seen that. But in that situation, it's like, nah. We still crying about robbery and rematch. That should have been a rematch. And I'm gonna be honest with you, Teofimo definitely. If he leaves, Teofimo vacating the title at 140, good. Okay, so Teofimo vacating the title at 140. Good. That's what this video is about. What about Boots? You gonna try to see what Boots talking about? Or he just gonna keep acting like Terrence Crawford, the option he need right now? He trying to go to 140. He ain't trying to cut. I mean, 47. He ain't trying to cut no weight. I mean, 47 ain't no easier than 40 is. I know he ain't trying to fight Brian Norman. We already found that out. Yeah, man. That's why I said after the Boots negotiations or talks with Brian Norman, I was like, everybody, see, they don't put pressure on every fighter. Every fighter they don't get pressure put on them. Brian Norman getting pressure put on him, like, and then these other guys, they just getting passes. Yeah, well, we don't care who we fight. You don't care. And that's who you paying to see and you don't care? Okay. Make that make sense. So who the real star? For real, who the real stars is? But yeah, I was looking at Jamaine Ortiz and I'm like, hold on. So a lot of people say he possibly beat Lomachenko. A lot of people say that. A lot of people say Jamaine Ortiz possibly beat Lomachenko. I mean, a lot of people. So in my eyes, I'm sitting here thinking like, okay. And I'm just talking boxing, man. You know what I'm saying? Everybody make everything a big deal, but that would have been a good option for Tank to fight somebody. I mean, he's a guy who possibly beat Lomachenko. In my eyes, he definitely beat Lomachenko and Teofimo. So he kind of like undefeated in some people's eyes right now. That would have been a good option too. What's up, PD? What's going on, dog? I ain't seen you, man. Oh yeah, I was sitting here just thinking, bro. I don't know why, but I hope you're doing all right, man. I hope everything going well. But I was just sitting here thinking, I'm like, was it Jamaine Ortiz? That would have been a good option to fight Tank Davis. Because he did basically beat Teofimo Lopez. And some people think he beat Lomachenko. So if you can't get Lomachenko or Teofimo Lopez, that'll be the best person to get. A guy who possibly beat Teofimo and Lomachenko. That makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah, man. I already know, man. Dang, man. That's crazy, bro. Time flying. Yeah, I gotta get my gaming thing, bro. I gotta get my gaming thing going next couple of months. I knew I was gonna be behind. I'm like, everybody on the Call of Duty. I'm like, bro. Yeah, I'm about to get. I should have, man. I don't know. I need to go get that Call of Duty, bro. I need to get it. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, bro. Like, hey, PD, come on, dog. Did you hear the news that came out yesterday? I found it out like 3 days ago. You know, New York I always got the news first. But um, Lamont Roach said Tank wanted to fight him 2 years ago before he fought Hector Garcia. Tank hit Lamont Roach up for a fight. I know. I say, hey, bro, I don't know how. Bro, this might sound dumb. I be seeing you on the Discord playing. I don't know how to. You be on the Twitch. I don't know how to work it to find the video. I feel like an old man, bro. I don't know how to work the video. Yeah, Lamont Roach. Tank tried to fight Lamont Roach 2 years ago, before he fought Hector Garcia. 2 years ago. You know, after he fought Chris Colbert, he was thinking about fighting Lamont Roach for that fight in DC. So technically, the way it was set up, it looked like he was gonna fight Lamont Roach. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got a Steam account too. Yeah, I'm finna get that Call of Duty. I'm already scared. I'm rusty. I know I'm gonna get. I know it's gonna take me a couple of weeks to knock the rust off. I know I'm gonna get shot up the first couple of weeks. Now you finna have a winner, baby. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, but yeah, you finna have a winner, baby, though. That's gonna be a chill baby on the horoscope. But man, that's crazy. Tried to fight him 2 years ago. That's a showcase fighter, dog. PD speaking fast. That's a showcase fighter. Come on, man. Like, step it up, dog. We trying to see the best. And what people don't realize is, and I heard somebody say this recently, you know how Lomachenko at an age now where people like, yeah, I want to see Loma fight Tank. And you know how some people saying he too old? It's gonna get to a certain part when people say that. Yeah, yeah, he's smart. He's smart. But he just stepped in the ring with all these guys, so I ain't saying he's scared, but at the end of the day, I know how boxing works. And even a lot of fans should know by now by watching this Turkey Yellow Sheet stuff. When you fighting a 50-50 fight every couple of months and it's 50-50 down the line, it's gonna be a good chance you might lose. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hey, not even that, PD. Hey, I'm glad. That's a good point, PD. A lot of people will say, Gary Russell, he ain't that good. He ain't fought that much. He ain't that good. He lost recently. He lost his last fight. But when you bring up Lomachenko resume, they gonna say, well, he beat Gary Russell. That's the first name they bring up. I got the picture up here. Let me pull up the picture real quick for y'all. Cause I done did my homework a little bit. That's the first name that come up. That's the first name that come up when they talking about Lomachenko best wins. They'll be like, Gary Russell ain't good enough to fight Tank. But when they talking about Lomachenko best wins, guess who name come up though? But we talking about fighting Tank. No. Gary Russell, he ain't did nothing. Well, let's name the best wins on Loma resume. Oh yeah, Gary Russell. Well, he beat Gary Russell. Yeah, they trying to pull fast ones out here, dog. We got to change the narratives in boxing. Hey, PD, why you playing? If he get past JoJo, it will be. He get past JoJo, that's a good one. While you playing, he get past JoJo, that's a good one. Oh yeah, you gotta give me your cash out too, man. I gotta send you something for the baby shower, bro. Hey, while you playing, he might end up fighting him while you playing. Hey, that's a good one. Hey, he said Nicholas Walters. I'm rolling with that one. That's a good one, bro. I said, you know what's crazy? I said Lamont Roach like 2 months ago. I was like, man, he might fight Lamont Roach. I said, but now I don't, cause I kind of fell back from telling Tank news, bro. I be getting this right so much that it's, it gets boring, bro. To be honest with you, it gets boring. It gets boring. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, man. Shakur, he couldn't get a fight with Tank. at 130. He the only 130 that Tank didn't offer a fight. That's crazy, ain't it? Ain't that wild? I heard Shakur gotta prove himself. He ain't got no losses, but I heard he gotta prove himself though. That's crazy. Gary Russell, hey, bro, anytime somebody say Gary Russell ain't good enough, just ask them, is Gary Russell a good win? Is Lomachenko beating Gary Russell a good win? If they say yeah, they just killed their whole argument. That's the best win Lomachenko got. Yeah, duck talk, man. Too much of it going in boxing right now. It's ruining boxing, to be honest with y'all. To be real with y'all, they hurting the sport right now. And the reason I'm gonna say it, the reason why I say they are, is because, yeah, the best fighting the best right now, but the guys who are the best fighting the best right now are 40 years old, 37. That's boxing not supposed to be that way. These guys supposed to be fighting each other at 32, 33, 31. They're not supposed to be fighting each other at 40 years old and 37. It's not the way things supposed to be going. Even Bitterbeard was saying that. Like, y'all wait till I'm 40 years old to start trying to hunt me down. I'm already fighting the best. Like, I'm coming off an injury at 40 years old. You know what I'm saying? I ain't getting no excuses. I'm like, okay. He like, man, I'm still hurt. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They trying to, hey, everybody think LeBron and KD going to the Olympics this year is normal. That ain't normal. Man, dudes ain't supposed to be that old. Man, dudes that old don't go to the Olympics and be like, yeah, we finna run it back one more time. That ain't normal. Shoot, that's why we barely won. That wasn't normal. What Usyk and Bitterbeard is doing right now, that ain't normal. You see guys right now, 34 years old, 33, talking about they on a farewell journey, and they talking about Canelo on a farewell journey. I'm gonna just be honest with y'all. They announced Canelo's farewell journey. Basically, his next 6 fights is gonna be, you know, he gonna be on a world tour. He gonna be on the world tour. Y'all remember that movie Jet Li was in? When he was going across the world fighting them guys? What that movie was called? Fearless or something like that? Y'all remember when Jet Li was in that movie? That's what Canelo finna do. He finna fight in Japan. He finna fight in the UK. It's more platforms right now, but I'm starting to notice something, you know what I'm saying, in boxing. It's a lot of fighters who's not really getting a lot of fights right now. Charlo them turned 35 in May. So even if they fight, let's say Charlo fight December, right? 35 he turned May and 35, both of them. Bro, they ain't fought that much. Like, how many fights they gonna have left in them to the point where they finna just run off a marathon of fights right now? Boom. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, the energy of boxing is kind of down right now. They lacking something. He said, how long ago was Gary and Loma? That was a while ago. Loma and Gary was a long time ago. You said the game drying up with the piracy. Not really. People still willing to pay for fights, bro, to be honest with you. To be 1,000 with you, people still willing to pay for fights. I'm willing to pay for a fight. You willing to pay for a fight. It's just the fight that you want, though. If you request for a fight right now, if somebody say, hey, bro, you can come up with a fantasy fight right now you want to have. For $20, you'll come up with a good fight that you'll pay $20 to watch. But are they going to make the fight, though? You know what I'm saying? When they making Anthony Joshua versus Ngannou, was that a fight you was really asking for, or you know what I'm saying? Just thinking about it. Some of the best fights are not fights you ask for some of the times. But some of the times, the fights you ask for don't never happen. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Bro, I'm gonna tell y'all right now. I paid for that Terrence Crawford versus David Avenesian fight on BLK Prime. And I don't buy pay-per-views like that. You know why I bought it? Because Terrence Crawford trying to fight the best. I knew he was going to get in the ring with Earl Spence. A lot of people were saying he wasn't going to fight Spence. I knew that BLK Prime was another platform, just like Pro Box, that puts on boxing. So I was supporting independent boxing, just like I support Pro Box and everything else. I just like boxing. So just like PD say, I pay for solid cards. And still, that isn't the best fighting the best, period. If you're not fighting the best, bro, it ain't it. Oh, yeah. I paid for that one. I ain't gonna lie, I don't buy all of them now, but you know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of stuff you just don't see. You know, we ain't never seen just boxing platforms pop up and be like, yeah, we putting on a big fight. Then they talking about getting Crawford. Then they was gonna try to get Adrian Broner in Atlanta. I thought that fight was gonna happen, but it was some stuff that happened with that. But yeah, I thought that was a real big move though. Just like Pro Box. You know what's crazy? Everybody like Pro Box, but they don't like BLK Prime, and BLK Prime doing the same thing. BLK Prime just put on a good card recently with what's his name? Gabe Flores. That card, the card BLK Prime put on recently is probably better than the card that Pro Box had on their card recently. So when I seen that, I was like, oh yeah, I'm glad I bought paid money to watch that fight. Cause now you invested in good fights now. When you pay for a pay-per-view, you invest in future good fights too. Cause that makes sure they can stay in business and make more fights. Yeah, he said they will if they see a profit. You said if they see a profit? I disagree with that because they would have made Joshua and Wilder already. The reason why Joshua and Wilder ain't made is a disgusting reason. The reason why Tank Davis and Lomachenko ain't been made is that it just showed that they don't care about money like that for real, to be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest. If they cared about money, why is Tank Davis and Lomachenko fight not been made the last 5 years? That fight should have been talked about 5 years ago. The same time that Spence and Crawford fight was talked about. That fight should have been talked about. I'm telling you, it's gonna be a lot of people in boxing. Y'all think people are sad about Lomachenko and Tank not fighting now? It's in 5 years. When Tank say I'm gonna hang it up, it's gonna be a lot. It's gonna be like 5 boxers that people gonna be like, man, I wish Tank would have fought him. I'm gonna be sitting back laughing. Cause I'm gonna be like, yeah, you know what? I made a video about that. I'm gonna have a video about all these dudes that guys is hoping that Tank fight. I see right now they making mistakes. They talking about Teofimo and Ryan Garcia fighting Crawford. But no Boots Ennis? Boots Ennis is at 147. And he looking for a good fight. Teofimo don't want to fight him, but he'll fight Crawford. Oh, okay. So that's when I know then, oh, he ain't trying to put no big fights together. Let's move on. Because at first I gave Teofimo the benefit of the doubt. I was like, yeah. But then I seen Ryan too. I'm like, hold on, Ryan, I know you at 147. You really at 54. Because once you and Oscar say you at 54, That's when it's real. Like, hold on, Ryan and Oscar said he at 154. What's going on? This dude really at 154? Oh, he's finna get destroyed. I'm gonna make a good prediction right now, and it's only because some of these guys been saying some reckless stuff in boxing lately. But I guarantee if Ryan don't fight Haney soon, he gonna get destroyed in the next 2 fights. Guarantee. Now, if it's a no name, you know what's gonna happen. But if he fight a contender, a real name, he ain't gonna last his next 2 fights. Like, he need Haney more than Haney need him. He gonna be begging Haney for a rematch soon. He gonna be looking like Pookie off New Jack City. He said, what's crazy is Tank think he fought better out than Floyd. He was comparing his money and saying he makes more than Floyd did at his age. Yada yada. Man, please. Man, look. Floyd Mayweather ain't got nobody on his resume that look like Rolly Romero. Rolly Romero? Bro, I put a video out today asking why fans, these dudes think they know boxing. And they talking about some Rolly Romero was that guy when Tank was about to fight him. And dudes really be trying to argue about boxing. Bro, I know you like a fighter, bro. That's cool. Just like the fighter, bro. Don't try to be an expert, though. Don't try to act like you gonna report boxing too and all that. Nah, come on now. Let's be real. Y'all co-sign Rolly Romero. I heard dudes talking about, yeah, but man, that guy a champion. Rolly Romero's a champion. I said, these dudes finna really have Tank get in the ring with Rolly? I said, man, y'all just messing, y'all wasting all Tank good years, man. In a couple of years, they're gonna be asking why Tank ain't fought nobody. Well, not that he ain't fought nobody, why he ain't fight Loma. Why he ain't fight Loma. I ain't even thinking about that because I already know why. I know Loma fought Gary Russell. I heard Gary Russell don't fight nobody, but he fought Lomachenko though. But Gary Russell ain't trying to fight nobody though. He only fight once every 10 years. That's what I heard. But he fought Loma, but he ain't trying to fight nobody. They be pushing these narratives in boxing. Hey, it be destroying boxing, man. Like, that narrative is actually like normal in boxing. When people say that, yeah, Gary Russell ain't fought nobody, you know what I'm saying? He ain't fought in a minute. But that's Lomachenko's best win though. So how good is he if that's his best win? He must have been fighting enough to the point where he became Lomachenko's best win. Didn't he have like 20-something fights by the time he fought Lomachenko? Hold on. Shoot, fight Jamaine Ortiz. The toughest fight Lomachenko to have. I should have put Jamaine Ortiz on here. I should have put Jamaine. I just felt like the Gary Russell fight was a tad bit closer than the Jamaine Ortiz fight, but then, you know, Kambosos, he dropped Teofimo. He got his blood all over. He got Teofimo blood all over his pants. So I thought I had to go ahead and put that up there and let people know that, you know, he did do that. Because people act like they just don't remember Teofimo fighting Kambosos. I don't know why. After Kambosos beat Teofimo, he was just that guy for about 3 months. And lost to Devin Haney. All of a sudden, now he ain't good no more. They acting like Devin Haney like Shane Song off of Mortal Kombat. He just walking around taking dudes' powers after he fight them and stuff. I mean, Kambosos and Regis fight. They fight Devin Haney, just all of a sudden they become trash now. That's why everybody this weekend like, yeah, man, Regis, man, yeah, he's still pretty good. Yeah, I know. Y'all put Josh Taylor on pound for pound for beating Regis' program. I remember I was there. And that's another question mark I asked in boxing. See, these questions I be asking, they ain't gonna go away. They old questions, but they still make sense. It's gonna take some time for people to figure out, but yeah, like PD said, Gary Russell. That's what I'm saying. Zapata, come on, well, hey, oh man, PD, you know what's crazy? They gave all kind of, you know what I heard people saying? I'm glad you brought that up. I heard people saying, Tank said, hey man, Shakur Stevenson need to fight De Los Santos again. Tank said, man, Shakur Stevenson need to fight De Los Santos again. I heard fans saying, man, Shakur Stevenson need to fight De Los Santos. I said, hey, De Los Santos ain't got no fight. Tank ain't got no fight. Need to fight De Los Santos. Man, they turned De Los Santos down for a fight. Didn't even want to fight De Los Santos. Then I heard people saying De Los Santos, he coming off a loss. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, he coming off a loss. Okay. Hey, that what's up? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like, look, you know what's crazy? Tank said that, like, De Los Santos just that guy. Like, man, Shakur Stevenson, he'll never be able to survive the great De Los Santos. If Tank like, oh, man, if Shakur Stevenson fight De Los Santos twice, man, guess what will happen? But then, when I sit up here and say, hey, man, Tank should fight De Los Santos. Oh, man, he ain't good. Man, he just came off a loss. Oh, okay, man. All right. Yeah, but when De Los Santos knocked out Rayo, though, he was that guy. Now, all of a sudden, I say, instead of fighting Rayo, fight the guy that knocked out Rayo. Oh, man, he coming off a loss. Why would we fight him? We? Y'all ain't getting in the ring? Talking about we. Y'all ain't putting no gloves on. Talking about we. Yeah, I want to see that Rayo and De Los Santos rematch. They was actually, let me tell you what's crazy. Rayo and De Los Santos was actually going to fight. They were going to fight each other on Tank Davis and Frank Martin card. But then they came to Rayo and said, hey, you want to fight Pitbull for a belt? And he said, absolutely. Yeah, they was going to fight each other. He was preparing for that fight and everything. It was announced already. That's why it's kind of wild that Rayo just fired Benavidez dad. Well, Benavidez Sr., Jose Sr. Like, that's what I don't know. Wild West out here right now. But yeah, I thought Rayo had a chance in that De Los Santos fight. De Los Santos ain't unbeatable, like I said in the prediction. If you go to my prediction in the Shakur Stevenson De Los Santos fight prediction, is about 2 minutes. I predicted the same way that fight went, the same way everybody said De Los Santos was gonna knock him out because he got a whole bunch of knockouts. He went out there and did the same thing I said he was gonna do. Sit back and watch. That's it. And people said that Shakur Stevenson ran from De Los Santos. Let me tell you something. Like I said before, you ain't never heard nobody say that a fighter ran from Mike Tyson. That's the reason he couldn't knock him out. You ain't never heard nobody say a fighter ran from Wilder. He couldn't knock him out. You ain't never heard nobody say a fighter ran from Terrence Crawford. He couldn't knock him out. Canelo, you ain't never heard about nobody saying Canelo couldn't knock a guy out because he was running. If Canelo can knock you out, he can knock you out. He dropped all the guys he fought last couple of fights, so he did enough to drop him. But that just makes sense in the world. All the sense in the world. All the sense. But I don't know. People feel like it's a diss towards Lamont Roach when people say, hey, we want to see Tank fight at 135. At this point right now, then, anyway, might as well just go back down to 118 then. He might as well just fight 118s at 122. I mean, it's no reason for anyway to move up and fight 22s or 126s. He might as well just fight 118s then. In this era, they would have punished Manny Pacquiao for moving up. Oh, Manny Pacquiao trying to move up and fight 154? He ain't big enough for that, man. I don't know, man. These guys too big for Manny Pacquiao. He too small, man. I ain't never heard that in boxing a day in my life. Quit acting like y'all care about these dudes' lives, man. I be hearing people talking about that Terrence Crawford and I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna say something. I don't want to offend nobody. You know, I got love for everybody. I'm not the smartest guy in the world. I don't care if you're a boxer or whoever. If you sit up here and say Terrence Crawford, as far as him, the size difference between him and Canelo, if you sit up here and say that with all the information you got, as far as Canelo fighting Amir Khan, Canelo fighting Floyd Mayweather and losing at a small size, if you got all this information and you're a boxer, a pro boxer, or you're an expert, and you sit up here and say Terrence Crawford's he's too small, that's the only way you can break the fight down, you're a casual, big dog. I'm sorry to tell you. You're a casual. It is what it is. You're a casual, homie. You're a casual. You're casual. It's a lot of people who been telling on themselves as far as being casual. I'm just gonna be real with y'all. A lot of people. They expose themselves as far as casuals. I'm talking about a lot of people. A lot of people, they stuck on the names. Don't get it twisted. These guys, they be pros and experts, but they be stuck on the names too. They be fans too. They be stuck on the names too. Y'all done seen Canelo go out there and get walked down by Lil Floyd. And we talking about size matter in the fight with Canelo. Come on, man. Get up out of here. Come on, man. If Terrence Crawford went out there and got walked down by 135 right now and lost almost every round, y'all ain't gonna be sitting up here saying that he's still one of the top #1 pound for pound fighters he the face of boxing. Let's stop it, man. Let's cut it out. That whole narrative that be getting pushed, bro, it ain't even about boxing no more. Like, if we talking about in the ring, y'all gotta make that make sense. I don't care who you is. A lot of these narratives starting to get pushed way too much. Way too much. Hold on, let me read PD. My bad, dog. PD said Shakur doesn't even have the setup with the shocking shot factor. You need to get the KO. Exactly. You need to get it. We want to see it. We want to. Who cares? And if he dares to fight at that weight, let him and find out how good he is. Canelo fought Bivol. Nobody said anything. Exactly, man. That's what I'm saying, bro. Canelo tried to fight a cruiserweight. That's what I'm saying. I never heard nothing like that before. I grew up on Roy Jones Jr. Bro, when I was growing up, Roy Jones was taking over around the time Mike Tyson was falling off. That's why these dudes, bro, I know people who really grew up in the 90s. I'm talking about guys who already had families in the 90s. Bro, I was a kid in the 90s. I know guys who had families in the 90s that was watching boxing all the time. And they wasn't even watching Floyd Mayweather. I'm just keep it a buck. I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with y'all. I was a kid back then. It was grown men with families that was watching boxing. They know way more boxing than I do, especially back then. They wasn't even watching Floyd Mayweather. I'm keeping it real with y'all. They wasn't even watching Floyd. They wasn't even watching Floyd, man. They didn't start watching Floyd until the kids of the last era started watching Floyd. When Floyd became money, that's when most of these people started watching Floyd. So they didn't think that Floyd would be able to do what he did against Canelo until he did it. So before Floyd even started stepping up and fighting those big guys like that, or Pacquiao, when he was fighting Cotto, none of these people believe that they can do that. Just like with Terrence Crawford fighting at 47, everybody act like Terrence Crawford's life was just on the line. At 47, he ain't fought nobody. Just last year, just this time last year, we had people walking around talking about Terrence Crawford can't survive 147. Come on, man. The excuses got wild. Blaming Sean Porter, a guy who never got stopped before, for getting stopped. They blame his dad. Oh, why you stop the fight? He's like, why I stop the fight? What kind of question is that? Why did I stop the fight? We just seen dudes get stopped that ain't even hit the ground yet, and they threw the towel in. But yeah, Canelo fought Bivol, man. It's like, it's getting the same, bro. They really destroying the sport right now. I'm gonna tell y'all how, then I'll move on. Because right now, with the IBF doing everything they're doing, it's gonna make it harder for Benavidez to get undisputed. It's gonna make it harder for Terrence Crawford to get undisputed. It's gonna make it harder for because like I explained a couple of days ago, Terrence Crawford could have fought Charlo at 54 for undisputed and walked straight into a Canelo fight. It could have been easy like that. But what they want Terrence Crawford to do is they want him to do the dirty work. Now we want you to fight the guys that Charlo didn't fight. Because a couple of minutes ago, everybody was saying, well, Charlo, he need to fight Canelo. Ain't nobody else at 54 for him to fight. Now all of a sudden people are like, oh yeah, 54 got Baccarat, we got Charles Conwell. They been there. They been at 154. They been at that weight class. They want Terrence Crawford to go do something that ain't never been done before. People don't even understand that. Floyd ain't never did nothing like this before. Floyd wasn't stopping no guys at 36, 37 years old, moving up in weight classes. Floyd ain't never did this. And I'm a Floyd fan. He ain't never did nothing like that before. Never. Terrence Crawford go up there and stop Canelo right now. He doing something that Floyd ain't never did before. They don't want to see that. They know what time it is. And does he have a chance? Absolutely, he does have a chance. I know why he got a chance. I know why he got a chance. I've heard so many excuses why certain fights shouldn't happen. Nah. And then Canelo ain't trying to fight Benavidez. If he can't fight Benavidez, y'all saying Benavidez ain't that good, then Canelo ain't gonna be able to fight nobody that good then. He ain't gonna be able to move up, because you're moving up. You said Benavidez was too big, but you want to move up though. You want to fight Bivol. I know people ain't mentioned the Bitter Bill fight with Canelo because it wasn't gonna happen. I told people that ain't no real fight that's gonna happen. I know what time it is. Canelo ain't gonna be able to walk down no Bitter Bill. Man, come on, man. Hey, man, come on, man. He ain't gonna be able to walk that guy down. I can't even find the picture. I don't want to go through all my pictures because I got some crazy pictures up here I've been pulling up. But, man, come on, man. If we seen what Bitter Bill just did, is it up here? Man, I know it's all the way down here. Yeah, it's gonna be all the way down here somewhere. Yeah, it's gonna be down here somewhere. Dang. Yeah, I was looking for that Bitterville picture, man. Bitterville was going off on Billboard, man. If y'all would have seen this picture. Oh yeah, I ain't show y'all the picture the other day though. I got a question about this. Anybody still in here? Did y'all see the picture with the one glove? Hey, y'all, anybody seen this picture? Hey, does this look weird? Anybody seen this picture? Dude walking around one glove on still. That's crazy. I was just wondering if anybody seen that. That's wild. But yeah, it's I've seen it before in boxing, man. I'm telling you, I've seen it before. There's certain fights now that people are asking for that they never asked before. Like Daniel Dubois right now. If Daniel Dubois wouldn't have fought for a belt recently against Joshua and Usyk got stripped, that would have been just a regular fight without a champion. And that's a guy who already got 2 losses. So sometimes people don't really know when a guy's ready for a fight. Daniel Dubois got 2 losses. He's 27. He only fought for a belt because Usyk vacated the belt. Or they had him, forced him to vacate, whatever it was. But he was a guy who look at his profile. There wasn't nobody walking around saying, hey man, he ready for the top heavyweights after taking 2 losses. Everybody would just call him a quitter. Now you got people posting his resume, how many heavyweights he done fought recently, and bro, we already been talking about that already. Y'all behind, man. We already was talking about Daniel Dubois fighting Usyk at 25 years old. People don't even know Daniel Dubois was 25 when he fought Usyk. That's crazy. They calling a young guy who really supposed to be still fighting prospects a quitter for fighting Usyk after coming off a devastating injury, taking the Usyk fight early after being injured. I'm like, oh, okay. Didn't nobody know he was going to be ready for Joshua this year. Especially after losing to Usyk. So sometimes when we talk about, hey man, we want to see certain matchups with certain people. Oh, what has this guy done? He ain't no champion. Okay, Daniel Dubois wasn't no champion before he fought Joshua. He wasn't a champion. What does being a champion mean about a guy have to fight a champion to challenge himself? Bro, I watched boxing enough to know Esau Cruz wasn't no champion when he fought Tank Davis. And y'all talking about how that was one of his hardest fights. De Los Santos wasn't no champion when he ended up beating Rayo. Andy Ruiz wasn't no champion when he beat Anthony Joshua. Joseph Parker wasn't no champion when he beat Wilder. So what does being a champion mean? That's why 50-50 fights don't happen. That's why they don't happen. People got to see a guy actually go beat a champion to believe that they can beat a champion. That's not how you break down boxing. Of course, we know Steph Curry can shoot a 3-pointer because he shoots them all the time. Of course, we know guys can get knockouts because we see them get knockouts all the time. But Lamont Roach, I think he only got like what? I mean, knockouts he got probably like 9 or something like that. But guess what? He got 2 knockouts in his last 2 fights. So that's when you really got to know what you're looking at sometimes. Now, he got 10 knockouts now. Oh, he ain't getting no knockout against Hector Garcia. I'm tripping. He got a knockdown in the 12th. That's why I keep thinking that. Knockdown in the 12th. He got one last fight, though. But yeah, you gotta challenge yourself these days. Well, I'm telling you, the last era of guys right now, it's looking tough right now. I'm just saying, with Charlo turning 25, 35 in May, it's gonna be hard to get in the mix right now and try to. I heard Big Charlo trying to move up to 68. It's gonna be hard to get in the mix right now. Especially after taking a layoff, you letting these young guys tighten their skills up a little bit. They starting to grow, get a little more muscle. It's gonna be some trouble going on. At 68 and 54, those two weight classes you don't want to be at right now. I mean, that's too many. You don't want to be in them two weight classes right now. You end up getting stopped at those weight classes. Those are the toughest weight classes. Well, 68 kind of, I mean, they got some of the toughest prospects, so they still kind of tough, but man, we want to see the best fight the best, man. For real. To be honest with you. Just to be honest with you. At this point right now, you got Pro Box putting on more 50-50 fights than some of these big cards. You want to see real challenges. Some of these guys going out there laying down. These ain't no real prospects getting put in the ring. And some people like, yeah, these guys fighting cab drivers. They shouldn't even have cab drivers in the ring. Like, that shouldn't even be going on. That shouldn't even be going on. That's why the first time when Riyadh season started, I was like, man, they got a couple of cab drivers down here. I don't know about that. Turkey Al-Sheikh need to bring some guys down here. He said that they said he was spending the money or whatever. I'm like, nah, this ain't it right here. I can't co-sign this. But yeah, man, they gotta do better on this right now. And then at 47, they put all this pressure on Brian Norman Jr. a couple of months ago. Well, last month, 2 months. Oh man, he need to take this much money to fight. Let me tell you how weird that was. We done had that same situation with Teofimo and Brian Norman Jr. Ain't nobody care about none of that. We had the same situation with Teofimo, Tank, Ryan, Teofimo, and Devin recently. Nobody cared about it. But as soon as Boots and Brian Norman Jr. situation happened, now everybody like, man, you need to take that money, man. You need to take the deal. And guess what happened? Barrios turned down same deal, even more money. Stanionis turned it down. The one person who did try to make the fight, that's who they try to go after. I'm like, man, please. Make that make sense. The guy who is trying to make the fight, who's explaining to the fans, like, yeah, we trying to make this fight happen. Then the people who don't explain to the fans, they just fight whoever. That's who everybody respect. That don't. Come on, man. Like, let's be honest. Like Jamaine Ortiz fighting this weekend. This dude ain't did nothing but try to fight the best. He's still fighting on the main event. But he should be what Teofimo at. Teofimo ain't put in no work for real. He ain't put in no work for real. That Lomachenko win is burnt out, man. The credit for that is ran out. I don't see nobody running around using the same kind of energy for Devin Haney beating Lomachenko. Talking about that was a robbery and everything else. Teofimo has been involved in plenty of robberies. So let's not act like we care about robberies. Plenty of robberies in boxing. He should have fought Padley. I take Padley over. I take Padley over Teofimo right now. See if I can pull him up. I take Padley right now. He probably stopped Teofimo Lopez. But yeah, he need to try to fight Boots though. Dude, I never want to call out Boots. See, everybody want to say Boots and Terrence Crawford. That ain't the only guy that Boots can fight though. We got Ryan Garcia and Teofimo moving up to 135? Nah, Teofimo moving up from 140 to, I don't know, bro talking about 135 recently. But 140 to 147. Come on, man. You ain't gonna fight Boots? Still should be fighting at 135, to be honest with you. You're a smaller guy. I feel like in my mind, he don't want to cut no weight. He should still be at 135. That's where his level of competition is. 140 has not been good at 140. I don't think Teofimo got a stoppage at 140. I don't even think he stopped anybody at 140. But we want to see the best though. All these guys ain't fighting the best right now, man. They are not fighting the best right now. If they don't tighten it up soon, I'm gonna tell you right now. In 2 weeks, because I told everybody that Tank Davis was gonna move away from the Mike Tyson date. A lot of people they don't understand that. Then everybody worried about if Tank gonna fight in December right now, and it might not happen. I don't know about all that, but I told y'all he ain't finna fight close to Mike Tyson. He ain't do it in June when he thought that Tyson was gonna fight in July, and he ain't doing it now. He was fighting in November. Move that. Too many tickets getting sold right now. Too many eyes getting pulled to that fight. Ain't nobody caring about nothing else going on after this election over with. All they gonna care about is that Mike Tyson fight and then Thanksgiving. That's it. That's all they gonna care about. They gonna care about the Tyson fight, then Thanksgiving. That's all they rolling with right now. People think it's a game, man. See, Dana White see right now. That's why Dana White like, man, I'm finna get into boxing because it's wide open. It ain't really important right now. And I seen during the MMA, man, when I was watching MMA, I noticed then, I said, yeah, boxing ain't really that important right now. It's not. It's not. They're not getting marketed as much as MMA. You just not on a wide scale. You say you haven't heard nobody talking about Mike in a minute. What? I'm going to just say this. Not the people that we know, the people that we be around, because we real boxing fans. We're not talking about Mike Tyson. But bro, I'm going to just say this. Mike Tyson had no crowd during the shutdown. You said you don't think people know? What? Bruh, trust me. They know. I'm telling you, trust me, they know. They know. If they don't know anything else, they know. I'm telling you, they know. We might not want it to be successful or to go a certain way, or we might be against it, you know what I'm saying? But bro, Mike Tyson sold 1.5 during the shutdown with no crowd or something like that. It might have been higher. I forgot how many pay-per-views he sold. And they didn't even advertise that fight like that. It wasn't like all over the place that him and Roy Jones was finna fight. Like this fight is all over the place. I'm telling you, a lot of people know. And it's gonna be on Netflix. And you gotta realize how many people have Netflix. It's the younger crowd knows. Yeah, a lot of people are gonna check it out, man. I'm telling you. It's gonna do a lot of numbers. I'm definitely gonna report it. Yeah, I'm just putting the warning out now. It's gonna be on a Friday. It's gonna do numbers. Yeah, I know it's crazy. I'm definitely against it, but the only reason I'm actually like looking forward to it is because I just want to see like when it goes viral and when the numbers go a certain way and when you see the amount of people talking about it on social media, then you see how many days they talk about the fight. I just want people to realize, okay, this is when somebody actually sells 1.5 or 1 million pay-per-views. That's what it looks like. That's the only thing I'm looking at. I'm not invested in the fight at all. After the Ngannou and Fury fight, the standards of having like my standards for boxing is at an all-time low. That fight shouldn't even happen. But I just want to show people that when you sell 1 million pay-per-views, that's what it looks like. The engagement, everything. Because I said, I want to say like 2 or 3 months before they announced this Mike Tyson fight, I was saying, man, dudes really ain't doing numbers like Mike Tyson no more. And people didn't understand what I was saying on my lives. I was like, man, Mike Tyson do numbers because every time he fought in the past, he fought who people asked for. Oh, they got a good undercard on there. You ain't seen the undercard? Man, they got Barrios fighting on the undercard. They got Shushu Carrington fighting on the undercard. What? You ain't seen the undercard? They got Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano. Hey, you ain't seen the undercard? Undercard crazy, man. They got a crazy undercard on there. Bro, they finna get the undercard straight. Yeah, this gonna be good. Where is it? Hey. Yeah, it's gonna be good. Yeah, they got a good undercard on there. Yeah, they got the guy who knocked out the H2O guy on Jake Paul card, Katie Taylor, Sadasia Green. They got Shushu Carrington fighting this guy named Coolwell. Got this one guy who fought Zepeda recently. Yeah, they got a decent undercard on here. Yeah, it's straight. They got some boxers on here. You said those names not good enough. What? You said those names not good enough. Those the same names Canelo just had on his undercard. I don't know. I'm kind of confused. I mean, this is why I'm confused. Bruce Carrington just got a win and everybody was and that went viral because everybody said his fight was close. So he's a big name. Shadeja Green, she just fought um Franchise Cruz Dezern, and that's one of the biggest fights in women's boxing that happened over the last 12 months. She's a big name. This dude, Lucas Body, he just went viral on Jake Paul card for knocking out this dreadhead guy or whatever. I forgot what his name was. And then you got Katie Taylor and Amanda Serrano, who everybody says she the greatest women's boxer ever. That's what I've been hearing. Amanda Serrano, she's a big name. I heard people say that. So Mario Barrios, he knocked out. No, he didn't knock out that guy, but he did get in the fight with Keith Thurman, Tank Davis. He beat Ugas. He beat Maidana's last fight. Then you got Abel Ramos on here, who was a guy who's fought everybody. He got one of the best resumes in boxing. How's that not a good name? You said they need Dev, Ryan. Bro, them fights happen once every 10 years, bro. People don't fight like Devin and Ryan, bro. The only reason the Devin and Ryan fight happened because Devin made the fight happen. They don't make fights like that. And to be honest with you, Ryan ain't finna fight nobody else like Devin anyway. So that was the last fight people finna get like that. So that ain't gonna happen. That fights like that don't ever happen. Those fights don't happen. Tank Davis don't got he don't got a Ryan versus Devin type of fight on his resume. And he fought Ryan himself. It sold a lot, but it ain't a fight that everybody talk about 24/7. So even he doesn't have a fight like that on his resume. Canelo, a Bitter Biv versus Bivol type of fight, he doesn't got a fight like that on his resume. Those fights like that don't happen. They only happen once every, and those are not fights that fans requested. Fans didn't ask to see Ryan versus Devin Haney. They made the fight, but you see what I'm saying? The fights that fans asked for or they put up with, those aren't the fights they wanted to see. They didn't want to see Ryan versus Devin Haney. They wanted to see Tank Davis versus Ryan, and that fight was a dud. I didn't like the fight. It was bad. Everybody complained after the fight because Ryan got stopped early, didn't really put up much of a fight. But the Bitter Biv and Bivol fight, that was a fight that a lot of diehard fans requested, but a lot of fans who just watch boxing on the regular, that's not a fight they requested. They only watched it because Bivol was in it. And to be honest with you, the last 4 or 5 fights that Bivol's been in, they haven't really tuned into his fights like that. Bivol fought Zerto. He fought a couple of guys and people ain't really tuned in like that. So to have those type of fights, you got to think about the big fights that happened this year. They ain't really fights people ask for. People don't ask for these type of fights. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. Like these Bitter Biv and Bivol type of fights, Ryan versus Devin, people ain't really asking for these fights. They like them after they happen, but before they happen, they ain't really rocking with them. So that's why when people say, yeah, I'm good with this type of fight, I'm okay with this fight, I know you okay with this fight because you don't know what's going on at this point. When people say that, I be like, bro, they don't know what's going on in boxing. They really don't. People really try to explain that certain guys need to earn a Tank Davis fight. But then you got Rolly Romero who got a Tank Davis fight though. So Rolly good enough to fight Tank, but the rest of everybody else is trash. That don't even make sense. And that was a bad fight. When you really look at it, ain't got no replay value on that fight. You know he gonna get knocked out. You know he ain't throwing no heat like that. A lot of these fights ain't got no replay value. I know what fight you are gonna watch back. You see how you name those fights though? Devin Haney, Bitter Biv, Ryan Garcia, Bivol. But people don't want to see Devin fights though. They complain about how he's bad for boxing, but they'll watch the rematches though. How he bad for boxing, but that's one of the most requested fights. That's the fights you want to see. How he ain't good enough, but that's the fight you want to see. How is anybody better, but that's the fight you want to see. Not you, but I'm just talking about anybody. I was talking about this a couple of days ago. Everybody want to see Devin Haney in certain fights, or Terrence Crawford, or even Boots now. But what about these guys who are the faces of boxing, though? This is why this era is going to be one of the weakest ones. I'm telling you why. This is the only era where if you ask for the best fighters to fight certain people, for some reason, people don't like that. But for some reason, people will say Devin Haney is not that good, but we want to see him fight this person, that person. They'll say, oh, Terrence Crawford ain't that good, but we want to see him fight Boots. He should fight this person, Bakaram, and Tim Tszyu, and Charlo, and this person. It's like the fighters that they don't think is good, those the ones they actually want to see get challenged. I mean, they're already getting challenged, right? I thought fighting Earl Spence was a challenge. That's what I'm saying. I thought 47 was too much for Crawford. To be honest with you, anything he do now is a bonus. Because saying that 47 was too much for him, that was some of the craziest stuff I've heard over the years, man. 47, too much. And now 47 is empty right now. You got to start over. Now you got Brian Norman Jr. stepping in. He gonna take the fights. But they want people to get underpaid, though. That definitely ain't happening. Ain't nobody taking no simple fights for no belt right now. And you got people running around getting fights with Tank for having a belt, but I'm gonna just take a little paycheck for somebody else? No way. Yeah, Devin Haney always putting on good fights. And he only 25. Devin Haney only 25. These other guys is about to be 30 years old. A lot of these other guys is 30-something. Devin Haney had Fight of the Year twice already, to be honest with you. The Ryan Garcia versus Haney fight is the biggest fight still. Because if the zone gonna keep playing that commercial with Ryan throwing his hand at the end, like he didn't get stopped last year by Tank Davis, yeah, that Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia fight is the biggest fight of the year. It's not even a question. The Lomachenko and Devin Haney fight last year was the biggest fight of the year, no question. It might I still say Terrence Crawford and Spence was. I'll still say Terrence Crawford and Spence was. The reason I'll say Terrence Crawford and Spence was because for some reason Terrence Crawford and Inoue both did the same thing in the ring. They end up stopping the guy in an undisputed match. But for some reason, Inoue got a whole bunch of credit. And then, but for some reason, Terrence Crawford got to prove himself. So yeah, stuff been going downhill ever since then. It's been going downhill. They better figure out what side they on though, because history finna prove everything. I'm gonna tell you right now, and it's gonna be the realest thing I ever said. It's gonna be some Tupac from 94 coming back to 2024 type of stuff. I might not be right to some people now, but in 10 years, you're gonna be able to play my videos as far as with boxing. These other channels, they put out so many lies, they won't be able to, ain't nobody going back to listen to what some of these guys said 5 years ago. Because they was lying. They saying something completely different from what they saying right now. That's why a lot of these guys, you can't go back and listen to their old boxing videos. They be lying. They be changing everything they said. You click on one of their videos right now, they be like, Joshua, man, he was the best. He was the best, man. Joshua, Loma, Haney ducking Loma type videos. They done made those. That's why I don't say ducking, cause it look crazy after a while. If you say ducking, you really gotta have some good evidence. I heard people say that's not a good word, but I done seen Joe Frazier say that from the 70s or 60s or something like that. So shoot, he really invented that basically. But yeah, Haney versus Loma was a very good fight. My thing is, people, I can't, after, what year is it? 2020? I don't know. 2025, Tank on the hot seat, bro. Not as far as me, just overall in Boston, because if Devin Haney put on another big fight in 2025, and it's more talked about than what Tank got going on, that's 3 years where he didn't put on a fight that was bigger than what Tank did with the same opponent. This dude, a lot of people say, well, I can't forget what he did. He lost to Ryan. Well, you still want to see him fight though. So obviously, that's a lie. You can forget because you finna go watch again. And some of y'all gonna break the law to watch it. Go steal the fight and everything. But we can't consider him one of the faces at this point. Hey, in a minute, it's gonna be that way. As far as with Boots too. Because I see right now, okay, Ryan ain't saying nothing about Boots. Teofimo ain't saying nothing. Okay, so no way I can put them in front of Boots. So even with what they did, still can't consider them one of the tops. Because I got a guy right now in the same position as them. Because it looks like Teofimo going to 147. He vacating his belt. He vacating his belt and going to 147. 147. That's why I'm making these videos now. Because I already know what time it is. You're going to have to go to 47. You don't like to cut no weight, I guess. Allegedly. He going to have to go to 47. And Boots right there. That's why people are like, yeah, man, Boots need to go up to 54. Nah. Boots ain't got to chase nobody. They want Boots and Terrence Crawford to knock each other off, so guys like Teofimo can come to 47 and get a freebie or get an easy route through there. Because Top Rank, they like, man, every fight Teofimo had, they like, yeah, we're going to give you a chance to fight for a belt. Here go Brian Norman. Gave him the Lomachenko fight first. He acting like they ain't do him a favor. Let him go fight Cambosis over there in the zone. So what is he gonna do? Like, so you lost on the zone. The one time you did leave Top Rank, you lost. Because they know you really wasn't gonna be able to win that fight. And you really lost. They weren't gonna do a robbery for you. And then you come back to Top Rank. So yeah, you ain't gonna be ready to go back to the zone. They're not gonna try to steal the fight for you. So if I was Teofimo Lopez, I'd just stay at Top Rank. Let them keep making my career. Because Terrence Crawford, he don't need Top Rank to make his career. But certain fighters, they need Top Rank. So he needs to stay over there. Let them keep making his career. Because right now, Jamaine Ortiz, he fighting Friday. He a way better fighter than Teofimo Lopez. In 4 or 5 years, he'll still be around. Teofimo, I don't know. Can't guarantee that. Can't guarantee that. Jamaine Ortiz, he gonna be around. We already know the losses on his record. Technically, he still can be undefeated right now. So we know how the game go on that one. Business. But that would have been an excellent fight, though. That's a guy who arguably beat Jamaine Ortiz. I mean, he arguably beat Teofimo and Lomachenko. Yeah, Teofimo, he been doing the race stuff with the black fighter and everything else. It ain't even that, man. Teofimo he ain't had a knockout at 140. Every time he get into a fight, a championship fight, he got a black eye or he bleeding or he get black eyes like every fight. We try to ignore him. You know, we nice in America. We try to pick Teofimo up even though he's very antisocial. But he's in a bad spot right now, man. His career is on the hook right now. He's almost done. Trust me, I've called this out a couple of times before. Even last year, I'm gonna tell you how nice I am. Last year, when I seen Joshua going to fight Otto Wallin, I was like, bro, I already know. He's almost done. Like he's halfway up out of here as far as boxing. The way people trying to act like Wilder, they need to worry about Joshua this way. Because he's taking more losses and difficult losses. And had difficult time bouncing back. And switched a lot of trainers. And you said Canelo affiliation. I don't think Canelo will save him. I don't think it's a lot of guys that been around Canelo. And that don't make them bigger, you know what I'm saying? Like Oscar Valdez. That don't make them a bigger fighter. You still got to have their own fan base in boxing. Still got to have your own fan base in boxing. It's almost like rap. You got to hold your own. Yeah, you definitely got to hold your own. Just like rap. But yeah, Teofimo, he holding on by a string though. A lot of these guys is, man. A lot of these guys, they putting too much pressure on themselves because what they don't realize is before Adrian Bronner, it wasn't too many guys online like just tweeting all the time, especially in boxing. You can go back and look at like early 2010s or whatever. It wasn't a lot of guys tweeting and going viral and saying a whole bunch of controversial stuff and everything else. And even when Adrian Bronner was out back then, I was like, bro, he ain't gonna make it, bro. He ain't living a fighter lifestyle. And a lot of people was like, man, I heard he gonna be the next Floyd. When I heard people saying Adrian Bronner was gonna be the next Floyd when he first came out, I was like, bro, they gonna ruin him. They gonna ruin him. When I seen him in the Pollard situation, I was like, yeah, he done, man. He done. It wasn't even about what he said. It was about, like, how could he take anything serious outside of boxing? He said he don't sell? Yeah, he don't give himself a chance to sell. He don't want to fight nobody. Teofimo don't give himself a chance to sell, man. He don't want to fight nobody. The Lomachenko win, that was something that, you know, he wanted an early fight, a fight at Lomachenko, a chance at Lomachenko, so he got the win, but it made him worse though. That win made him a lot worse. It's gonna do the same thing to Ryan Garcia. I hate to call it out like that, but I am gonna call it out like that though, because I know I'm not gonna be wrong about it. If Ryan Garcia don't fight Devin Haney, he ain't gonna have no chance at nothing else. He's done. He gonna go out there, take a bad loss. It's gonna be a wrap. That's the only way he actually makes it through. So with him, Teofimo and Ryan, they kind of in the same position. People can't see it right now, but I see it. I definitely see it. I definitely see it when I notice that Teofimo don't fight. He hasn't fight The only fighters he fought from America is Jamaine Ortiz. And we're seeing how that fight went. He don't fight anybody from America though. Really. So he's behind right now. He don't pick it up soon, he gonna be done. And that's real talk. And if nobody around him telling him that, because I already seen he trying to get with Canelo now, but bro, you at that age now where you should have did that like 2 or 3 years ago. Because can't nobody make him fearless or give him confidence. They can help him out with his skills, but he ain't got no confidence right now in the ring. He used to be the guy that was a showboater and everything else, but now he going to the fight looking like the guy who's behind the whole time. He chasing guys and looking lost. Confidence ain't there. And sometimes guys who talk got fake confidence. That's why sometimes you gotta watch guys who talk like that. Guys who talk a lot like Ryan and Teofimo. Ryan talk all that stuff about, he talks all the time. But when it come down to, hey Ryan, what you take? Why you take this? Why is this in your system? Oh, I don't know. I don't know, man. Scooter. That's that fake confidence, man. A lot of these dudes who talk a lot got fake confidence. I know it don't got nothing to do with boxing, but I'm just being real. They be saying some crazy stuff, man. Very disrespectful. Very disrespectful. You said Ryan got enough money to not fight anymore? Nah, Ryan got child support. Ryan got kids all over the place. That child support can eat him up very fast. He'll be able to sell Devin Haney t-shirts or whatever. But those child support eat him up too fast. Trust me. We've seen athletes before make way more money than him go broke. And he got a drug problem that don't nobody care about. He'll lose that money in 5 minutes. Mike Tyson had way more money than him and lost a lot of it. Yeah, Teofimo ain't made no money like that. He just admitted it. Everybody talking about Benavidez and Crawford need a payday. Teofimo need a payday. I don't know why ain't nobody saying Teofimo need a payday. I have no clue. He just came out here and told everybody that he need money. He don't make money like that. I haven't heard not one person saying he need a payday. I'm very surprised. Yeah, Ryan gonna he gotta pull it together. But one thing I do know is a lot of these guys, they ain't gonna try to fight Boots, man. That's why all these headlines when people be putting in with Ryan Garcia and Teofimo, I'm gonna bring this up all the time. I'm getting tired of hearing about them guys the last couple of months. Acting like they're gonna be really promote some other fighters, man. If we're gonna talk about them, then I'm gonna bring up Boots. Yeah, they need to fight Boots. And it's weird that don't nobody else bring this up. Like, no, them guys don't deserve a Terrence Crawford fight ever. Did nothing in boxing to deserve a Terrence Crawford fight. That's how I know people don't really watch boxing. Teofimo and Ryan Garcia ain't did nothing to deserve no Terrence Crawford fight. They did enough to deserve a Jaron Ennis fight. Fight him. They'll struggle with Jamaine Ortiz right now, let alone Jaron Ennis. One of those guys turned down Brian Norman Jr., so yeah, they finna get replaced soon. That's why Oscar De La Hoya said, let me go ahead and get Floyd Schofield, because Zepeda and Floyd Schofield, they'll probably replace Ryan Garcia soon. So let me get those two guys. Oh, we got Teofimo over here. Let me get Abdullah Mason and Keyshawn Davis. And Bob Aram just said Keyshawn Davis could be the face of boxing. He ain't never said that about Teofimo Lopez. Bob said, yeah, man, he could be the face of boxing. Teofimo, you got to step it up, big dog. Yeah, Teofimo, it's time to step it up, man. Time to step it up. Yeah, man, I hope all y'all doing all right out there, man. You said, Bob, see now? What's up, Trey, man? Hey, shout out to you, Trey, for hanging up in here, dog. And I don't know if Blade's still up in here. But yeah, I'm just here talking. I sound like I'm just talking. I sound like I'm senile right now, but they gonna see now what I see. They gonna see what I see now later on, though. If they think I'm senile, they gonna see it. They starting to see now what I was talking about. Lamont Roach just said it. Man, I just dropped the mic on these guys, bro. That's the biggest Tank Davis story of the year. Lamont Roach has been trying to fight. He got an offer from Tank Davis 2 years ago. Everybody been running around talking about, do you think Key can be the face of boxing? I mean, yeah, but at the same time, he behind right now. If Keyshawn go out there and man, Keyshawn, all he need is 2 good fights. Keyshawn getting 2 good fights and end up fighting somebody like a Tank or a Devin and end up pulling away those 2 fights. It only take 2 fights to do it. Absolutely. But he gotta make it towards there though. The competition he fight, him and Devin Haney the same age. Devin Haney fighting way higher competition. It just is what it is right now. I gotta keep it 1,000. Am I a Keyshawn Davis fan? Yeah, I am. But do I keep it 1,000? Is he better than Devin Haney right now? No, he's not. Is he in a position where he's gonna be able to? Yeah, he's gonna be able to. I just want to see how he harnesses skills these next 12 months is going to be crucial for him. So I want to see what he does. But he could turn around these next 2 to 3 months. 2 to 3 years. He's still young. Like, come on now. Let's be real. Let's be real. He's moving fast, so I got faith in a lot of these guys making moves like that. I don't really like saying, I'm gonna be 1,000 with you too. I don't like saying the face of boxing like that either, because if you got to say you the face of boxing, that means you're not the face of boxing. I'm gonna tell you why. Floyd ain't never had to go around talking about he's the face of boxing. Recently I was Googling like when these guys was, have I seen articles or anything like that about guys saying who's the face of boxing the last 20 years? They ain't really start saying the face of boxing until like recently with like Tank and Canelo. But Floyd ain't never had to call himself the face of boxing. Manny Pacquiao, So really, the people get to decide if you the face of boxing or not, and your numbers and everything else. But right now, to be honest with you, none of those guys are face of boxing. If you look at the numbers, I'm telling you, bro. If you look at, I hate to say this, but when you look at those numbers that Jake Paul and Mike Tyson gonna do, you're gonna look at that fight, then you're gonna realize how many people don't care about boxing right now. They'll watch a Jake Paul or Mike Tyson, but they don't care about boxing because boxing has too many politics. Nobody's gonna wait 5 years, 8 years. I got friends that died before they was able to see certain fights. You got people out here passing away before they can see a fight. Like, boxing is in a bad place right now. You got guys passing away before they can see a fight. You got people that seen Ngannou fight Tyson Fury before he fought Joshua or Usyk. Yeah, exactly. Pay-per-view and ticket sales. Even these days, you know, they lie so much about the pay-per-view and ticket sales. Well, ticket sales, you know, they always sell tickets, you know, tickets. You know, to be honest with you, though, when they say ticket sales, most people go to boxing matches, though. Like boxing fights. In America, even outside of America, most people go to fights, so I don't really think about ticket sales that much. But when you want to sit at home and actually buy a fight, pay-per-view sales matter, but they get the numbers so wrong these days, I don't really pay attention to it. Because a lot of guys, they'll say, oh, well, Triple G, like even with Triple G and Canelo, they say Triple G was selling so much with Canelo. Well, why you ain't put him on pay-per-view by himself? Why you ain't put Loma on pay-per-view by himself? You know what I'm saying? They don't put Loma on pay-per-view by himself, but they'll put Devin Haney on pay-per-view by himself. So they know who sells and who doesn't. They just lie about the numbers a lot. And I don't really respect that about boxing. If you got to lie about the numbers to make one guy look bad and the other person look good, or you want to cut corners, or you don't want to pay somebody a certain percentage and you want to cut corners, a lot of that stuff has to do with cutting corners, though. They'll mess up. They'll play with the numbers, or like they'll put out low numbers so they ain't got to pay people. So some of the times or they'll put out high numbers to inflate it to make it seem like it did better than what it did. So sometimes you can't really run with those numbers. You got to go off of the activity, like the engagement, fan engagement online and in public, and just overall in the media. If you see certain engagement online, you going everywhere and you seeing Tank shorts and short videos and clips, and you know that everybody's tuning in, or they tuned in already to the fight last night or whatever. But a lot of times you see just a little bit of engagement or so. People are not really engaged like that. But a lot of people pick the face of boxing, though. Floyd was boxing years before he got taken seriously by the fans as far as being the face of boxing. And even when he was considered the face of boxing, they were saying that he was ducking Manny Pacquiao. You know what I'm saying? They say Floyd was ducking Manny Pacquiao his whole career. So even when he was fighting the best and everything, he wasn't selling. When Floyd was fighting his best competition, he wasn't selling a lot of pay-per-views and tickets. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times the fans pick, you know what I'm saying? But at the same time, these days, they're trying to choose the face of boxing. And you can't really choose the face of boxing because everybody's not fighting everybody. You know what I'm saying? It's just weird to me. Then a lot of people try to make it seem like Floyd didn't want to fight Pacquiao, and now all of a sudden when you're a fan on this side, you request certain fights, they feel like it's uncharted territory to actually talk about certain fights. You can't even request a fight these days without people getting mad. That's why you know boxing ain't really as important no more. You can't say, man, I'd love to see so-and-so. Canelo or Tank fight certain person. Oh, man. No, man, those guys ain't got to fight that person. And that's why other sports are coming in, taking the TV time away. You go to the ESPN Plus app, you ain't gotta have too much trouble to find UFC on there. You're gonna be able to find UFC on their apps. Ain't no trouble finding UFC and MMA on these apps. Try to find boxing. You know what I'm saying? Try to find boxing. I think that it's obvious now that a lot of people should just look at boxing a certain way. That even this past year 2024, Devin Haney been one of the most talked about fighters. So that show you right there. All these other guys they talking about stars, they really ain't stars like that. They still gotta find their way. A lot of guys getting interviews just because they mentioned Devin Haney's name. I done seen guys mention Devin Haney's name in the interview. Now they get more interviews. Like, what kind of career do you have in boxing? And you're a boxer. You're a boxer and you're only getting interviews because of they want to ask you about Devin Haney? Oh, you're not a big boxer then. You're not a star. Oh, you got to mention Terrence Crawford's name to get an interview? You're not a star. None of these dudes are stars. Right now, the only reason people are mentioning Teofimo Lopez's name is because he said Terrence Crawford. People are so scared of Terrence Crawford. They have one guy call out Terrence Crawford. Now all of a sudden, well, Boots was saying he'll fight him, but now you got Teofimo doing it. And people are like, over the years, been so afraid to mention this guy's name. All of a sudden, now when somebody does it, it's a big deal. Yeah, man. Let's give the guys with real talent like Jamaine Ortiz opportunities. These other guys calling Terrence Crawford out like they gonna do something. They ain't gonna last in the sport of boxing. They're not even trying to call out real opponents in their division. How could you take them serious? I take no boxer serious who's in a division that's full of talent and that says, "Hey, man, I'm gonna fight this other guy in another division. I'm gonna go up. I'm gonna go down." And you got all that talent. Just like right now, if Terrence Crawford was 30 years old, of course he was, even when he said, "Man, I can't even stay at 147 like that." If he was 30 years old, of course he'll fight Boots right now. If everybody said, "Hey, man, we want to see you fight Boots, not Spence," last year, like I was saying already, he should have fought Boots way before. People wasn't even asking for Boots versus Terrence Crawford 2 years ago. People playing catch up still, bro. They wasn't even asking for Boots versus Terrence Crawford 2 years ago. They wasn't asking for Boots versus Spence 2 years ago. Somebody need to explain to the fans that y'all already missed out on a couple of fights already, worrying about the wrong thing. Could have made Spence and Boots happen 2 or 3 years ago without a Danny Garcia fight or something. But they wasn't thinking about it. Could have definitely made that fight happen. They not thinking about it though. They don't make these fights happen soon, man. They gonna be behind. But yeah, man, people ruining the sport with a lot of fake news coming out, trying to make one guy look like they Superman when they really not. You got people talking about ducking in boxing. When guys sending offers to, like, people sitting out here talking about some Shakur Stevenson ducking Tank Davis and everything else. And then Lamont Roach come out here talking about some, yeah, man, we was getting offered a fight 2 years ago. 2 years ago? Come on, man. Been telling y'all this dude was trying to fight Chris Colbert if he would have beat Hector Garcia. I been knew it already. I was giving him the benefit of the doubt because I'm like, hey, man, he trying to fight them guys because anyway, man, that ain't even a reason no more. That's a weak reason. Go down to 130 then. That ain't no reason. That ain't no reason. That ain't no reason. That's something Canelo can't even do right now. They want to punish Canelo for doing it, or everybody else, but for going down, getting talent and bringing them up, that's insane to me, man. But yeah, I just want to see these sales from this Jake Paul situation. Because fighting who you want to fight, that ain't gonna sell the tickets, man. That ain't gonna bring the numbers in. It will locally though. He said the sport already gone. They actually hijacking it overseas now. Yeah, that's bad, bro. Trey, that's crazy. That's crazy. He said they hijacking it overseas. Yeah, man, the sport already it's already gone. I put a video out about that a couple of days ago. I made it a members only video. But yeah, man, it's done already. I mean, if you look at the events that's going on in Japan, you got Stephen Fulton fighting on main card in Japan. Then he coming over here, he fighting on a prelim. Like, how the hell we got our best fighters fighting on preliminary cards, but then we got him fighting on the main event in Japan against Inoue? That's crazy. Like, bro, what the like, we don't respect our fighters no more. No respect at all. No respect at all. We just using them to get knocked out now. If they ain't getting knocked out, they ain't going viral. If these dudes ain't getting knocked out, it ain't gonna go viral. Just no respect, man, at all. You said nobody knows Fulton? Shoot, they know him enough. They know him enough to put him on, try to put Inoue number 2 pound for pound. They know Inoue enough to know, they know Fulton more than they know Lamont Roach, who Tank Davis finna fight. Stephen Fulton more famous than Lamont Roach, and he's more famous than Eastside Cruz. Eastside Cruz, Stephen Fulton, one of the most popular fighters in Japan right now, after fighting Inoue. That's Inoue's best opponent that he's fought. So if Inoue is big in Japan, guess who else big? The guy who beat him. I mean, the guy who fought him. Anyways, Stephen Fulton's a big time fighter. It might not be in America, but it happens like that sometimes. Just like in the UK, a lot. Shakur Stevenson is huge in the UK. A lot of UK fans like the way he fight. It might not be. This is a worldwide sport now. Just like on here, a lot of Americans don't know what I'm talking about when it comes to boxing, but a lot of people from overseas do. They know exactly what I'm talking about. It's people that don't know English that good that know what I'm talking about. It's just common sense. So they know boxing. They know Stephen Fulton. It ain't that many boxers. Let's not get it twisted. It ain't that many boxers who are really stars out here. Like if I go to Africa right now, they don't know who Teofimo Lopez is. You know what I'm saying? They know who Ngannou, Wilder, probably Tyson Fury. They don't know who a lot of these guys are. So a lot of these other guys that we think that stars over here, they're not really stars like that. They're not stars like that. A lot of these guys should have pay-per-views every fight. Teofimo still hasn't had a pay-per-view. Sad. But if you look at how many people was talking about Stephen Fulton last fight, and I had engaged it, he had a lot of engagement on his last fight. His last fight had a lot of engagement. Like a lot of people was talking about his fight. Yeah. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you know, boxing ain't that big of a sport. What's up, Nello? You know, boxing ain't that big of a sport, so you know they ain't gonna say the names like that. You know, a lot of people don't know the big names of boxing. A lot of people don't know anyway is and stuff, but you know, boxing ain't that big right now. That's why I'm trying. That's what people gotta know though. Boxing ain't that big right now. Like people in some people's mind right now, they think that boxing is bigger than it was 10 years ago. It's getting there, but it's technically not because 10 years ago, you had more engagement as far as boxing. Now it's not that much engagement. They only care about certain names. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, but these guys, yeah, but a lot of people don't really know certain boxers though. A lot of these boxers ain't really. If you look at, if you just talking about boxing, period, and we just talking about the sport of boxing, period, Canelo's not even bigger than McGregor when it comes to boxing. If we just want to be honest about it, I mean they both fought Floyd, but McGregor is like a bigger. He's bigger worldwide than Canelo. Canelo's been around a longer time. It's just certain people they gravitate to like that. No, I don't even think it's like I don't even think it's the hip hop thing like Floyd and I don't even think it's the Floyd and Tank thing because like I just said, McGregor and Canelo they both got red hair. They both of their bloodline traced back to Ireland or something. They both look the same. Um, it's just that McGregor and then Canelo he done been around more stars. He done got Oscar De La Hoya fan base. He done got Mayweather fan base. So he done got way more opportunities than Conor McGregor has. And he been famous longer. And he fought Floyd before McGregor did. And he lost and became more famous after that. So it's not like he wasn't. But people tune into who they want to tune into. Boxing ain't that big though. That just shows me though boxing's really not that big right now because yeah, Canelo got all that, but he ain't take nothing to do with it. He ain't do nothing with it after that. He had the boxing world at his feet, but he didn't do nothing with it at the time. People think now is the same Canelo from 5 years ago. Man, that time is over with, bro. Canelo had the boxing world in his hands. Instead of doing what he could have done with it, instead of doing that, he went ahead and just tried to build Triple G up. He made his career about Triple G. And that was the biggest mistake he ever made. Because he popped for a drug test, failed a drug test around the time. So him fighting Triple G was the worst thing he could have done. It hurt his career more than anything. You popped dirty. Then people say you didn't look good in the fight, possibly lost. Had 3 of those fights, didn't drop them. Use your best years. Fight Triple G, and then that's what you basically known for. So that right there lowered the sport. I'm telling you, bro. I know the timeline, bro. I seen it coming in Boston. I was like, bro, this is lowering everything. That's why Turkey Out of Sheet walking around now. People complaining about Turkey Out of Sheet. Turkey Out of Sheet walking around now because Canelo fought Triple G 3 times. Because Benavidez can't find a fight unless he go call out Morrell. Right now, we at a point in boxing where the guys who ain't even considered the faces of boxing are the only people who making the big fights that the fans are asking about. How they ain't considered the face of boxing? So right now, according to the rules that every boxing fan right now is going by these rules right here. The fighters who are not considered the best or the faces of boxing, they don't have to fight who the fans ask for. Even though we asked Floyd and Pacquiao to fight the best, those who was asking the guys to fight, like Pacquiao and Floyd. But now when we ask guys to fight, hey, you need to fight Tank, you need to fight Canelo. So this era is soft now. I'm gonna explain that one more time so everybody know what I'm talking about. We made Floyd and Pacquiao fight everybody. But for some reason, when it comes down to this era of the guys who are considered the faces of boxing in this era, if you do the same thing with guys like with Canelo or Tank, people catch feelings and stuff like that. This era is weak. This is going to be a weak era. You're not going to see nothing like Pacquiao or Floyd. Those days are over with. It's not even going to be close to that. You said faces of boxing is matchups, not a person. Exactly. They ain't trying to match up. They ain't trying to match up. They ain't trying to match up right now. That's why when Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia matching up, that's what all people care about. That's why Devin Haney put the fights together. See, I ain't got to ask Devin Haney to get in the ring with nobody. I ain't got to sit up here and be like, make 10 videos and say, man, Devin Haney, can you fight Ryan Garcia or Lomachenko? We really do want to see Lomachenko and Devin Haney. You ain't never seen nobody post no videos like that because you ain't got to. These other guys, people quitting on them right now, to be honest with you. They ain't gonna say it out loud, but bro, you gotta realize the reason why Mike Tyson is even still considered a big time fighter is because, like I said before, he fought most of the people that people asked him to fight. He was always fighting. He was always fighting. Got trouble outside the ring, still jumping in the ring. Had a whole bunch of stuff going on. He was looking bad a lot of times. Still was fighting though. Still was fighting. Never was considered a cherry pick. And a lot of guys he end up like Lennox and Holyfield, they became way more famous after that. It was way bigger after they fought Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson could have been like, man, I ain't fighting them guys. Mike Tyson could have did the same thing these dudes doing now. He could have been like, I ain't fighting Holyfield or Lennox. I ain't got to fight him. He ain't selling no pay-per-views. And that's why Mike Tyson's still in the position he is now. Canelo try to fight somebody at 60 years old, you know what they gonna say? Oh man, he ain't gonna fight nobody. He don't never fight nobody tough. Hey, you ain't hear nobody say that Mike Tyson wasn't taking no challenge. That's the sad part. Mike Tyson taking bigger challenges at 60 than these guys at 25 in boxing. 30 years old. I promise you, if Canelo was fighting Benavidez, wouldn't nobody care about no Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. Nobody would not care at all. Yeah, but it's too much going on right now, man. It's too much. The sport ain't in a good spot right now. It ain't in a good spot right now. They gotta clean some things up. They don't, we're gonna get left behind. You said Eubank Jr. versus Canelo was a joke of a fight. I'd rather see a exhibition of Eubank Jr. versus Conor Ben. Absolutely. I want to see Conor Ben versus Eubank Jr. Just get it out the way. I don't even want to see that fight get dragged on another year. They might as well just make that fight. I hope Foster wins this weekend. It's sad. If he don't, if you want to Saturday morning. Yeah, I know. Boxing is, man. Even looking at Jamaine Ortiz, after that Jamaine Ortiz and Teofimo, that's sad to me, bro. I'm like, Jamaine Ortiz, he should have been had a chance at one of these big fights. And they got him sitting up here fighting on some little small card while you got Teofimo out here acting like he the best. That's the only reason I was going in on him. Teofimo be getting all these chances. He be crying. This dude gets so many chances. He done robbed so many fighters so he can have a good career. Allegedly. And worry about everything else. You know how many fighters had to lose so Teofimo can have a decent looking record? They almost robbed Kambosos. Yeah, Dana White finna, because Dana White sees what I see. Yeah, absolutely. Dana White sees what I see. Dana White knows right now that a lot of talent in America is not valued when it comes to boxing. He knows a lot of, he know he can get about 30 guys right now that got one loss. That'll stop half of these guys. He knows that they're not paying right now, so he knows that he pays some UFC fighters more than what these boxers get paid. So he know they're not getting paid. He knows that he's been around boxing long enough to know the ins and outs, and the way he does his events is legit. And they do live betting on. They don't even do live betting on boxing no more. They did it a couple of fights, but it's not really normal. I've seen it done like 2 or 3 times recently, but they don't even do live betting on boxing no more. They don't even do live betting on boxing. That's how you know that ain't no 50-50 fights going on. Vegas doesn't even trust boxing enough to do live betting. Think about that. That's where boxing is going. Vegas doesn't even do live betting. They'll do live betting on MMA before they do boxing because they like, man, we don't even trust boxing. Yeah, these matchups, they got to get better. I seen some good matchups coming up, though. I think with Jamaine Ortiz matchup, that's going to be good. A little decent fight. I think that Brian Norman fight was going to be good between Cuevas. I think the boots between Karen, I mean, Karen got to show up. You know, I ain't too much worried about boots. But with Daniel Dubois, I'm starting to hear some things with Daniel Dubois as far as him possibly fighting some other options. I didn't really get into it much, but I'm hearing if he doesn't fight Joshua, something else might happen. Yeah, I wonder how this Joshua and you talking about the chances of the rematch between Joshua and Dubois? Oh yeah, Dubois. So Dubois not fighting Joshua no more. Yeah, that's what I was doing this about. Oh, so he not trying to fight Joshua next. Oh, they gonna send in Joseph Parker to finish the job. They sending in old Joseph. So they sending in Joseph Parker to finish the job on Dane Dubois. You said Dane Dubois should take an easy fight? Oh, that's definitely not happening. Oh, so he gonna fight Dane Dubois don't take no easy fights. That ain't what he about. That's why he the real deal. There's a lot of guys that don't take easy fights, man. They don't do it. That's why I know a lot of fighters are okay with easy fights. Because even Earl Spence, he don't take easy fights. That's why when people worry about him fighting right now, don't worry about him. When he come back, it's gonna be a tough fight. He don't take easy fights. That's it. And I can say Luke stepping up his competition. It might not be the people I want to see him in the ring with, but hey, this guy's turning down fights for him right now, so. But yeah, Dane Dubois, he ain't gonna take no easy fight though. And he just got the belt, so there's no way he can. He's not gonna be in a position like Joshua. Yeah, they fell off, bro. Hey, Trey, I knew that was gonna fall off, bro. I knew that was gonna fall off. And that ain't no hate towards them because, you know, everybody got to make money. That's like me. I don't want to see nobody lose their job. I ain't never been happy about seeing no man lose his job. I don't even like seeing a man get locked up because I know if he do get locked up, he probably gonna get fired from his job. So yeah, I don't be want to see that. But yeah, they fell off, bro. They fell off bad, bro. They fell off bad, bro. They be chasing the views too much. Yeah, I don't like doing that, man. Yeah, they don't got no content, bro. I gotta spread it out. I gotta spread it out. They don't be having no content. But that was big news yesterday, though. I don't really be putting out that kind of content. But that was big. I had to put that story out yesterday, though, and today. I had to talk about it a little bit because that's big news because a lot of people be spreading the fake news every day, and it's killing the sport of boxing, to be honest with you. A lot of fans try to support a lot of guys online. They be spreading fake news, and a lot of people don't know what's real. Yeah, but some people, they do know what's real. They be on here doing too much. Yeah, I don't like them panels, bro. I tried to do it before. Man, it ain't. I don't even like watching it sometimes, like even now. I used to like watching it, but not really. It only take one person to explain boxing, bro. It don't really got to be an argument. And then, I'm going to be honest with you. A lot of these people grew up on Skip Bayless and everything, so a lot of these guys like debates, like First Take and everything like that, but most of the time, you ain't really got to debate about boxing. That's the problem about boxing right now. People want to debate about facts. You don't debate about facts, man. It ain't nothing to debate about. But yeah, sometimes I have talked to somebody on here. I will do it on here though, because like, if I'm explaining something to somebody, most likely they got that answer from another channel or another video, so somebody else probably got the same answer as them. So instead of just ignoring them the whole time, I probably just explain it because somebody else will probably come in with that same answer. So that's probably why they do it sometimes. But yeah, it gets draining sometimes, bro, when you talking about boxing. Because really, I just try to explain stuff that people can take away from it. If you go to my old lives, bro, I talk about stuff that really actually is happening right now. You know what I'm saying? That's all I want to do. I don't care about the being popular or, you know, people, they gonna hate regardless because they don't even know what's going on in boxing. I just gotta realize that. A lot of people don't know what's going on in boxing, so I have to be able to be patient. I'm not gonna always be right, but a lot of people don't know what's going on. But yeah, the sport of boxing is definitely, the debating and all that stuff is dead, bro. The debating era is dead. If you still debating, that went away when Skip Bayless. Didn't nobody want to hear about Skip Bayless debating no more. That should have been a sign to everybody on YouTube that, hey, those panels and everything, that ain't what fans want to see no more, bro. We want to hear facts. I just want to hear some facts. That's all I want to hear. Debating is cool, bro, but I want to hear facts. I want to hear what's going on in the sport of boxing. I don't want to hear nobody. Lamont Roach just dropped the bomb, bro, yesterday, and nobody reporting it. Well, it wasn't yesterday. It was 2 or 3 days ago. Lamont Roach just said, man, Tank been trying to fight me for 2 years. They offered me to fight 2 years ago. And for some reason, nobody thinks that's important. But they'll talk about Tank every day. Come on, man. Like, what y'all doing out here in boxing, bro? Y'all killing the sport right now. They really hurting the sport of boxing. It ain't just something that people are saying they're really hurting the sport of boxing. Like Trey said, though, a lot of them falling off, man. No good content. And I'm being 1,000 with y'all. They be getting the content from me now. It is what it is. But they get the content from me now. So everything most of the stuff y'all be hearing, they get it from me now, though. Because I've been telling people for 2 years now, hey, man, Tank tried to fight Chris Colbert. Ain't y'all noticed they always try to slip Chris Colbert back into the fold, like with a Rayo fight or with a pro box fight? They try to keep Chris Colbert around. Chris Colbert, if he would have won his last 2 fights, he'd be fighting Tank Davis right now. Guaranteed. So, that ain't nothing to argue about. But if I would have said that 2 years ago, people would say, but I already knew Tank was looking at guys like Lamont Roach. I just don't like when fans sit up here and explain certain stuff that's just lies, bro. You know what I'm saying? I already know why Canelo was fighting Berlanga and Munguia. I already knew that he was looking at those guys last year. Frank Martin versus Tank last year. When Frank Martin was trying to fight Shakur Stevenson, everybody called him a duck. I'm going to tell you. Boxing is like one of those sports where you can easily spot a liar, bro. People call this man Frank Martin a duck, then turned around and said he a good fight for Tank. Because Tank said so. So whatever fight Tank say he gonna fight, it's gonna be a good fight regardless. No matter if these guys call somebody a duck or not. These dudes call Frank Martin a duck. Tank ain't call him a duck. They called Frank Martin a duck. Why? Because he didn't want to take a low ball offer from Shakur Stevenson? Then what? So last year they called Frank Martin the duck last year, right? Around this time. Guess what they called the duck this year? Brian Norman. What do those guys got in common? Come on, man. The narrative's going down. But yeah, bro, all the fighters they try to put down and try to disrespect, those are the guys who eating right now. Terrence Crawford, he's eating. Yeah, they are, bro. They are. They definitely are. They definitely rainbow. Definitely. I've seen some things recently, bro, where it's just definitely rainbow. Definitely rainbow. They act like I don't be on chats on other channels watching boxing. Exactly, Antonio. I'm glad you said that, Antonio. Appreciate that, Antonio. I said that earlier, Antonio. I told y'all. Antonio just said exactly what I was saying. Everybody knows that Teofimo and Lomachenko got beat down by Jamaine Ortiz. So, Antonio, what I was saying before you got on here was something came to my mind yesterday, right, Antonio? I was saying, okay, so Jamaine Ortiz, he possibly beat Teofimo and Lomachenko. So I said, why don't he just fight Tank Davis? Bruh, let me tell y'all something. This is not the fight I want, or this is not the fight I've been thinking about. Jamaine Ortiz ain't one of my favorite fighters of all time or nothing like that. But Jamaine Ortiz is the most qualified fighter right now to fight Tank Davis right now. Jamaine Ortiz is a guy who's possibly beat Loma and Teofimo. There's not anybody out there right now who possibly beat Lomachenko and Teofimo Lopez besides Jamaine Ortiz. And Teofimo Lopez and Lomachenko are two guys that people want to see Tank Davis fight. Just being real with y'all. I'm just saying, those are two guys that people want to see Tank. So you would rather see Teofimo fight Tank Davis, right? You'd rather see Lomachenko fight Tank Davis, right? Well, who's the toughest guys that gave Lomachenko and Teofimo a fight? Because we know the Devin Haney fight ain't gonna happen, and that's the fight that everybody asking for. You said Ortiz a runner. I think the running thing is an excuse, bro. Let me tell you why the running. I'm gonna tell you why the running excuse is gonna be there. Jamaine Ortiz did the same thing that Tank Davis did against Isaac Cruz, and nobody said that Tank Davis is a runner. Did Tank Davis run against Isaac Cruz? Tank Davis did the same thing against Isaac Cruz. Last time I checked. Just trying to make sure. Yeah, T.O. less of a runner. Yeah, he is. Yeah, T.O. less of a runner. But I didn't see Kambosos have Teofimo on the bike though. Yeah, it was too much movement. I agree, Brian. I agree. It was too much movement. Because at a certain point, like especially late in the rounds, he was just moving back way too much. He was winning too many exchanges too. Should have let his hands go a little bit more. I think he knows that, but Teofimo doing enough to win that fight? Nah, I don't think so. Because it's almost like that fight was kind of like Bitterbill and Bivol. And there's no way that Teofimo was doing as much as Bitterbill was. Yeah, Ortiz and Sandor Martin. I don't know if that fight gonna happen though. Because Top Rank, they could have did that fight, but they ain't trying to do that. You said Tank came forward against Pitbull at times. Against a Pitbull? I mean, a little bit, but not really. In that fight, Pitbull was coming forward on Tank Davis. He always come forward. Pitbull ain't never been walked down in no fight. So he had to come forward. Yeah. Oh, you said that's his style. Yeah. Going against bigger guys. Yeah, Pitbull did come. Tank did come forward at times, but it wasn't like it was the same thing. Teofimo was getting exchanged against Jamaine Ortiz early. I don't know when Jamaine Ortiz's last fight was, but I think it had been a while before he had been in the ring. Yeah, I didn't even see it with Teofimo out there. I didn't see it till later on when somebody was posting. I think that was a Sandor Martin fight. Well, was that the fight when he was like, "Do I still got it?" That was that fight. The crying and the speech, I saw it, but I kind of turned it off a little bit. I couldn't really hear it because it was off. Yeah, he thought he lost that fight. No, he thought he lost that Sandor Martin fight when he was like, "I think, do I still got it?" I think that other fight, he was just happy that he had a big fight and successful that he won, but that Martin fight, he looked worried. Yeah, he lost to Martin. I know that. Oh yeah, he definitely lost to Martin. He lost to Martin. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like Teofimo has literally, he's had a lot of fighters get robbed so he can have a decent career. Like And he's talking about leaving Top Rank. He leave Top Rank, he's done. He won't be around no more. Like, kid, just stay at Top Rank. Let Bob keep building you up. You cannot afford to lose. The last time you left Top Rank, you went in the zone with Eddie Hearn. You fought Cambosis, and you said they robbed you. Teofimo, if he was on the zone right now, he'd have 4 or 5 losses. He better stay at Top Rank. And Sandor Martin is signed by Top Rank. So Top Rank technically knows that Sandor Martin won that fight. They signed him right after he lost to Teofimo Lopez. He better stay by. Cause when I seen him, I didn't like the response he said about Boots. He was saying, "Oh yeah, man, being Boots, we won a tournament together and blah blah blah." I'm like, so you calling out Terrence Crawford but not Boots? I'm like, nah. You're gonna have to fight one of those guys soon. It's getting crowded at 140, even for like a guy like Jamaine Ortiz who just got to 140 to fight Teofimo Lopez. It's getting crowded. Everybody not gonna make it. You got Matias still at 140. So yeah, you got some fights out here. I expect the Tank card to be crazy. Something for same thing for Benavidez and Morrell. Yeah, it's gonna be a crazy card. I just don't know when it's going to be, though, because they keep pushing these fights back. Like, when are these fights going to actually happen? Like, a lot of these guys right now aren't fighting a lot. They're not fighting a lot. Right now, if Benavidez fights Morrell, that means Benavidez fought one time in 2024, which is horrible. I can't believe I just said that. Benavidez fighting one time in 2024. This is horrible. Then Tank Davis, I don't know. He might fight one time this year. Yeah, Benavidez fought one time this year. Twice last year. Once in 2022. This is horrible. He needs to be more active. He's suspended until December 13th. They gotta start pushing these fights out for PBC, man. PBC gotta start pushing these fights out. If they don't, they're gonna be left behind. You said Tank was scared of Pitbull. Pitbull was definitely giving him a lot of trouble. And he pushed Pitbull at the weigh-in. Kind of started a lot of that stuff. Yeah, Ortiz was holding too. Yeah, you right. Hrgovic, I don't know, man. Hrgovic probably. Yeah, Makhmudov look bad, bro. He got to fight. Makhmudov, he might need to wait till next summer to fight. He only got one more chance in my eyes. If I was him, I'd wait till about 6 months, 8 months to fight. I think he started fighting fast after that Cabiel fight, but he might be done. He might be done. These heavyweights getting too skilled. They move too good. But yeah, you said Tank can't afford a bad show. Yeah, I know. They got these little low names on there, especially like I told people with this Mike Tyson fight coming around. A lot of people are not going to spend money like that on the fight. And it's going to take a lot of attention away. Then John Jones is fighting. Bro, y'all got to understand, John Jones is fighting. Tank Davis tried to fight 2 weeks before John Jones and Mike Tyson. So I knew that wasn't going to happen. I'm like, bro, ain't nobody finna watch that. And John Jones and Mike Tyson at the same time. And then he tried to fight. He's trying to fight now before the Usyk fight. And it's like they're trying to squeeze all this together. And it's going to be difficult. Yeah, that Tim Tszyu card was crazy. Yeah, Martin should be the champion. I don't know yet. They said he's trying to fight Puello on the 14th. They said him and Puello supposed to fight on the 14th. You said Puello the champion at 40. I know they're supposed to fight for the belt. I don't know what's going on at 40 right now. It's too much movement going on. Teofimo Lopez just dropped his belt today. Anybody know that? Teofimo Lopez just vacated his belt today. Let me go ahead and show y'all that real quick. Teofimo Lopez has dropped that belt. It's no longer available. He's done. Like, what is he gonna do now? Yeah, he expected to drop the belt today. This is crazy. Yeah, that's why I'm talking about Boots right now. Cause I'm like, hey, if he's dropping the belt at one, if he's dropping the belt at oh, I can't really see this. Let me redo it again. Yeah, if he's dropping the belt at 140, that ain't good. Yeah, he dropping the belt at 140, man. This dude fought. I knew it. That's why I was like, bro, that's why I did not want to see him fight Josh Taylor, man. This dude always getting one of these little fights like this, man, and then drop the belt, bro. Could y'all see this? Terrible. Is it time to give up on 140? Because I feel like it's a lot of talent at 140 still. We still got Jamaine Ortiz that came up, Rayo, Pitbull. Those are new faces. What other new faces we got? So would losing Teofimo and Ryan be that big of a deal at 140? I don't know. I think 140 gonna still be a stacked weight class regardless. But yeah, this he's ready to drop that belt. Oh yeah, let me go. Tia, that's what I'm saying. Even though Norman hurt right now, Norman is hurt. You right? Norman is hurt. Norman is hurt. That would have been a very good fight, man. Because right now, Tio's in a spot where I'm gonna tell you why Tio's in a good spot. He's in a good spot to where a lot of people don't really care if he wins or loses. I don't know if you understand that. As long as he just fights, nobody cares if he wins or loses right now. Because he's a guy that's known to put on big fights. I mean, Tio can have a great career right now just fighting, just putting on big fights, win or lose, getting chances at belts. Because, you know, most fans don't care that he got a chance at another belt because he putting on big fights. But yeah, this dude dropping 140 belt and going to he's going to 47. But he don't want to fight Boots though. Going to 47, don't want to fight Boots. I don't know how realistic that is, but I mean, Boots is the only guy he would actually be available at this point. Because you're not going to fight any of the guys at top rank, it looks like. Yeah, Boots and Tio need each other right now. That'll be an excellent fight at 47. Then at that point, Tio can reign at 47 for a long time, even after Boots leaves. Ryan will be there, so there'll be a future matchup. Haney will be there eventually. And if Tank wants to kind of max himself out, he can end up at 47. Shakur, so they can do a kind of a meet-up thing at that point, but it ain't been much action at 47 and all those other weight classes yet. So I'm kind of worried about all that right now. Yeah, I think Tio done at this point though. Because at 47, who he gonna beat? I don't know who he's gonna beat at 47. Stanionis and those guys, those are big fights, but Stanionis big. Stanionis about the same size as Tim Tszyu. He's not a small 47. He might be a no-name to some people, but he ain't small. Yeah, Tio might retire without fighting a good opponent. Like recently. I know I'm talking about as far as like over 40. Because I know Josh Taylor and Lomachenko, those are good names, but we're talking about names. I wouldn't mind a Floyd Schofield if he was still at 35. But I don't think Teofimo trying to cut that weight, man. He wants to get bigger. He's not trying to slow down. The size he's at right now is, even when you seen the fight with him and Steve Claggett when they was weighing in, Teofimo's never really drained because as soon as he feels like he needs to lose a couple of pounds for a weigh-in or something like that, he gonna move up. I feel like he's one of those guys. So that's gonna cause a lot of problems for him. But not to fight Boots at this time? Come on, man. Why would you not fight Boots? But yeah, Teofimo definitely should have went ahead and fought the guys at 140. Dropping the belt at 140 when you have Matias, you have Haney, you have Isaac Cruz, Rayo. So many matchups at 140. He did fight Jamaine Ortiz and Lomachenko. I mean, not Lomachenko, but Jamaine Ortiz and Josh Taylor. I will give him credit for that, but like Antonio's saying, 147 is one of the weakest divisions in boxing because most of those guys have no experience. Most of those guys are clamoring for a Brian Norman Jr. fight. He's one of the youngest champions. So that lets you know right now that that weight class is just, it has nothing going on right now. They on the back end right now. And for Teofimo to make this move, I don't know how that helps boxing right now because a lot of people don't see him as a 147 fighter, even though he's been talking about Terrence Crawford and him leaving 147, and he hasn't been there long. I know most of those guys, they'll stay at 140 for like 2 years. I think he's been there 2 years. I ain't gonna say that. He's been there 2 years. Yeah, because he's been there 2 years. Coming up on 2 years, but still. Dude can't make weight or something? He can't make 140 now? He's not a tall guy. He's not a very big guy, so I don't know. Maybe he feel like he's draining himself right now. I know Regis Prograis moving up to 47, so maybe that's a fight that Eddie Hearn possibly tries to put together at a certain point. If Teofimo is no longer on top rank, if he's on the zone, fighting like he did against Kambosos, that's a fight that can happen. But it's going to be very tough to see, man. Teofimo definitely is leaving a lot of untapped potential right now. And he's at that age right now where he should be fighting some decent names right now. Turning that corner. Still got a lot of time because he's young, but he's not developing like he should be. Like he said, I can understand protecting the O, but if someone clinches so badly towards that O or only loss, it shows that they're not confident in that game. Yeah, I said that earlier. I don't think he's confident because the way he's carrying himself as far as his whole bravado, and he's more confident outside the ring than he is in the ring. In the ring, he's kind of chasing. You know, he got that high guard. He doesn't have that confidence like he used to have, where he was a showboater and he'll throw those hard shots and try to make certain gestures toward the crowd. But now Teofimo, he doesn't even smile when he's in the ring no more. He get in the ring now. He don't even smile when he get in the ring. That's the only way I can explain it. Like, he goes in there and looks at it like, well, I gotta do this now. It's almost like punishment. You're supposed to have fun in the ring. It's not punishment. Yeah, they need to take a page out of Bivol and Bitterbill book and let the results speak for themselves and continue to fight. Exactly. That's the only way. I mean, bro, I don't know if anybody know it, but Bitterbill and Bivol, they both won in that fight. You can't really tell who lost the fight because a lot of people feel like both of those guys had a chance. They fought well. It was a tough fight. You could tell they was in the best shape of their life. We just seen Bivol fight like twice. And he was in better shape and he was bigger in this fight than he has been in previous fights. That just goes to show how they actually take their craft in the sport. A lot of people feel like they wasn't fighting that hard and tough. I mean, they were at times. I think overall, when I really think about it, Bitterbill, he was still hurt. So he wasn't really going all out like that. But Bibble, he was definitely getting caught with a lot of shots. Yeah, money ain't there no more. It ain't. And I'm gonna tell you that the pay-per-views kind of drained a lot of fans too. The fans that was paying for like pay-per-views and stuff, I think they kind of wore out them fans after a while. When you go back and look at certain fights that was pay-per-view. I know Canelo's a big time fighter, but when you go back and look at certain fights like Billy Joe or whatever, you like, man, I can't believe I was paying for all that, man. I can't believe I was paying for all that stuff. I paid for Billy Joe and all these fights. Man, I don't want to pay for this stuff. So sometimes a bad fight, you paying for a bad fight, or a fight you thought that was going to be good and it ended up being bad, or you don't want to pay for that kind of stuff again. So usually they end up losing customers from bad fights. That's why I say they need to put on more big fights and better fights, because that makes people want to pay. Now a lot of people want to pay for turkey out of sheep fights and stuff like that because the fights are decent. Yeah, you said Tim Tszyu still in. Yeah, I know, that's crazy. They got Tim Tszyu in the 4th place right now. Yeah, his brother in there too. Yeah, if his brother beat Baccarat, that would be funny. He said he's so privileged. Yeah, he definitely got some privilege on that end. He got some privilege on that end. Because he went in that fight unprepared, man. Really did. He really did. Yeah, I seen that the other day. I said, man, he's ranked pretty high still. Yeah, he's ranked pretty high still. But Canelo, he gonna be able to tighten all that up. If he ever get a chance to fight in certain fights with like a Tim Tszyu or Baccarat, he'll be able to revive those guys' careers. And those guys win 2 big fights, he'll possibly fight those guys, even though they 54s. That's crazy, man. Teofimo leaving 140. What if he dropped the belt and still stay in the weight class? That'll be worse. If he does that, he needs to retire. Yeah, in 5 years, most of the stars will be retiring. It's gonna be a lot of guys starting to exit out in a minute. That's why I tell fans now, hey man, these guys who y'all are talking about, they're not gonna be around soon. 140, 147, it's gonna be looking different very soon. It's gonna be a whole different weight class soon, man. It really is. You said T.O. smart to leave? Yeah, but I don't know if he's gonna be prepared physically. I think if he would have left, well, technically he did kind of leave after the Lomachenko fight. I don't know, man. He's in a hard spot right now. I'm more worried about his training right now. It's hard for him to get knockouts right now with him not fighting confident like he was before. If I was T.O., I would finish out the fights I have on Top Rank and let them match up the fights and try to take advantage of those matchups real quick. And then I would try to make my best option as far as going to other platforms, because they still have bigger platforms opening up right now. If I was T.O., I would try to raise my value a little bit, then try to go over there where Dana White is. That would make a lot of sense if I was him. Oh yeah, boxing ain't always gonna be dead completely, but it's always gonna be replacement fighters. But at the same time, the way it's going now, the scary part about boxing is sometimes they feel like they don't need certain fighters. Like they'll say a guy's done. Like eventually, like what if guys that people say that are done, what if they just start retiring? Like if every fighter that people said they were done and they retired, boxing would be trash right now. So I don't know what boxing is valuing right now. Even if you take a tough fight right now, you still be looked at as a bum if you lose. So it's kind of hard to build it up right now because a lot of guys don't want to take a chance. You said Bud versus Janovic. I don't know if that'll ever happen. Janovic trying to fight Canelo. So I think Janovic will be most likely to fight Canelo before he fight Crawford. I would watch it though. I would definitely watch that fight. I definitely would watch that fight. Yeah, I definitely want to watch that fight. Janovic is tall. Janovic is tall though. He's like 6'1". Nah, I think he might be like 5'11". I don't know. Last time I checked, I thought he was like 6'1". Might be somebody else. Yeah, 140 gonna be too crowded, especially when guys start leaving 135. Like a lot of these guys like Floyd Schofield and Abdullah Mason, and you got Tito Machado, he's at 140. I think he was at 135. I know Zepeda, he gonna end up leaving 135 and going to 40 eventually. So 140 is gonna always be crowded. That's why I say the fight's gotta get made or it's never gonna happen. You said Topuria in boxing? Yeah, he got some hands. I don't know as far as boxing though. I was seeing him fight a guy last night. And I was thinking about, I was like, oh, he do got a nasty left hook though. He got a nasty left hook. Topuria does kind of throw some punches like De Los Santos though. He got a nasty left hook. I will say that. I don't know. He has a chance. I don't know. I kind of agree with that now. You said import some guys from Pro Box and Misfits to make some things more spicy. I think they're gonna do that eventually. I know the Zone doing that now, but I think they're gonna do that. Like the guys that was on Jake Paul undercard, they're letting those guys fight, so they're starting to do that a lot more. Yeah, I hope they do take advantage of Dana White. They said they want to have 15-round fights come back. 15 rounds. Bro, 15 rounds is crazy. I would definitely watch a 15-round fight. But that is insane. Yeah, 15 rounds is crazy. You said Canelo not fighting Janovic too big of a threat. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know what Janovic was gonna do. I didn't see him going straight to fight Canelo, but nobody turns down a Canelo fight, so I can see him definitely accepting the fight. But hey, I'm glad you said that too. Ooh, I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna make a video about this. Matter of fact, we'll make the video right now together. Since you brought this up. So you're bringing up the point about Janovic fighting Canelo Alvarez, and I just thought about it. Canelo is fighting Chris Eubanks Jr. at 160. So why is he fighting 160 Chris Eubanks Jr., but he's not fighting 160 Janovic? That doesn't make any sense. In my eyes, I felt like Canelo Alvarez was always going to fight just champions. Especially guys that's current champions, so he can have it on his resume. I don't understand that because Janovic could still turn around and be undisputed at 160. And then you could say, hey, I beat two guys who's undisputed. So why would he fight him instead of Janovic? Why would you fight Chris Eubanks? That don't make any sense. So I can see what you're saying right there. Too big of a threat to fight him instead of Chris Eubanks? That's crazy. I can't believe he fight Chris Eubanks instead of Janovic. I was already mad about it a couple of months ago. I think I did think about that idea, but I probably forgot. But yeah, Janovic was definitely a bigger threat than Chris Eubanks is right now. Yeah, he is bad matchup style-wise. He is. He is a bad matchup style-wise. He can do a lot of things that Bivol can do. I'm not saying as far as fighting the same way, but I'm just talking about the same kind of problems. That would definitely cause some problems for Canelo. That reach, too. And he's a tall guy. Canelo struggles with those guys who are very tall. You know, he was all right with Smith, but in this situation, it'll be difficult. But that would have been an interesting matchup, though. I don't know why he would take Chris Eubanks over Janovic. But yeah, I understand what you're saying. Too big of a threat. But yeah, in my eyes, I always feel like Canelo's going to take a certain matchup. If it's not going to be the very best guy we want, it's going to be somebody close to that point. Or it's going to be an old fight that we wanted before, but it never happened. Then he ends up making it happen, like Billy Joe. A lot of people didn't want to see Billy Joe, but some people did, so they were okay with it. But a lot of these fights are kind of past due, man. And to be honest with you, Janovic would have been a more interesting fight than what Berlanga gave. Not to say the Berlanga fight wasn't good, but going into that fight, Janovic has more experience in the amateurs. And he's older than Berlanga. And he's a champion. I heard that matters now. People say, oh, well, that guy's a champion, though. Well, Janovic's a champion and Berlanga's not a champion. So that should have been a fight already. Especially if you fought Charlo, you can definitely go down and fight Janovic. You said we better see stat cards every month. Yeah, I know, man. PBC is not. They're kind of behind right now on their schedule because from what I seen, originally, Tim Tszyu and Fedor was going to end up fighting in like September. Then that was before. That was after Terrence Crawford was the idea of fighting the winner of Tim Tszyu and Fedor. Then we're now in a situation where Spence might not fight until next year. Berlanga versus Plant on the card, on the Benavidez card. I don't know. That's going to be tough. A lot of these guys trying to fight with a William Skull guy right now. 2 weeks ago, Berlanga and Plant was trying to fight the Vladimir Shishkin guy. I think they're trying to put themselves in a position for a Canelo fight. Or at least a belt at 168. I know they wanted to get the belt. Trying to force Canelo to get a rematch. But Plant, it's kind of tough to say what fight he does right now. Actually, him and Berlanga is in a tough situation because I know who Munguia's fighting in December. He fighting Ronald Gravel. And if Ronald Gravel goes out there and does something against Munguia, possibly an upset, he definitely gonna get a Canelo fight. That's no question. Yeah, they quality over quantity. They had quantity. They got quantity, but that Amazon thing slowed them down. That's why they need certain fights, like with Janovic and Canelo fighting so closely. That could have been a matchup, or they could have at least put Adames and Janovic on the card and made those two guys fight for a Canelo fight. That would have been smart. Both of those guys trying to get a Canelo fight. Canelo needs a 160. Put Janovic and Carlos Adames in there, have those guys fight. That would have been a whole nother card that PBC could have had that people would have actually watched. And they could have put it on. And you still got Lara. So let's just say, hey, Carlos Adames loses. PBC kind of loses out on the situation because, what's the name? Because Carlos Adames is a PBC fighter. Janovic isn't. He's on top rank. So they can be like, hey, we can come back and have Janovic fight Lara after that fight, and it'll still be a big fight. So you never know. I think a lot of things could happen in that situation. But Janovic and Canelo situation definitely would have been good. He said that Tim Tszyu card did good, PBC. That card was good, man. That was one of my favorite cards of the year. That was one of my favorite cards of the year, that Tim Tszyu card. That was a very good card. With him and Fandora, I'm talking about from top to bottom. I was impressed because everybody was in shape, ready to go. That was a very good card, man. It really was. I went back and seen another card that was close. It was like competitive, had a lot of close fights on it. A couple of upsets too. That Haney card, that Haney and Ryan Garcia undercard, that was very underrated. I know Scrappy Ramirez lost on that card. Yeah, that Tim Tszyu card did good. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. A medium card every once in a while, but I think that Amazon deal is, I don't know the situation that's going on right now, but with those apps and those dates, it's definitely hurting a lot of things right now. They have too much talent and you're wasting a lot of these guys' best years. The best talent we have too. We're asking for so many fights that with so little time. A lot of these guys are old now, older. And we're trying to have these guys fight 2 or 3 pound for pound fighters, and it's just not possible right now. And we asking the wrong guys at the wrong time. That's why the ducking, when people were talking about ducking all these years, that kind of helped these other fighters avoid certain guys like Crawford and other people for so long. Now people want to have the fights, and it's just too little too late at certain points. Yeah, that Barboza fight was a robbery. That was a robbery. Yeah, that guy was. I had looked up that guy recently too. The Irish guy. I think he was Irish. The one he lost to. That guy'd be a good fight for a lot of people too. Because up until that point, Barboza was fighting good in that fight. I think Barboza did good in that fight up until that point. I mean, in his career up until that point. Like the last couple of fights he had before that, he was starting to hit. But I don't know, maybe he was just doing too much because he was supposed to be a replacement for Devin Haney versus Ryan Garcia, just in case Ryan Garcia didn't get in the ring. And everything kind of went bad after that. He probably prepared too much. Probably became too much for him. You see that Bud Majamal, bro, that card felt so good watching, bro. I don't know why. I know it was the daytime and everything when I first started watching it, but I'm talking about all the way from the top of the card with a Saudi Arabian guy fought and the other guy, I forgot where he was from. He might have been Irish too. All the way down to the main card. Every fight was good. That was definitely one of the best fight cards I've ran across. And a lot of people complained about it. And you had Rayo and Pitbull as a co-main event. By the time we got to the Rayo and Pitbull fight, it was already like it was a full card by then. So then you get Rayo and Pitbull, then you get Majumov and Crawford. Of course, we had the concert with Eminem. That could have been better, but yeah, that first fight was early. Oh yeah, I put some videos out about that, Tonyo. Oh, I definitely put some videos about that. Matter of fact, I did a whole live about that the day he signed to the Zone. And I was asking everybody online why they gave Devin Haney so much trouble. Danny Jacobs, Demetrius Andre, Tevin Farmer. They gave all those guys trouble for signing with the Zone. And even though the Zone had Canelo and Triple G over there, they felt like Andre should have chased Charlo them instead of Canelo and Triple G, which makes no sense. And then when Boots signed to the Zone, everybody kind of like, well, you know, they kind of okay with it. They blame everybody else now. If you ain't fighting Boots, it's your fault. But back then, if you signed with the Zone and not PBC, it's everybody else's fault. Yeah, a lot of these guys changing their tune, Tonyo. They changing their tune right now. They starting to find out that all that PBC stuff they was talking about, the promotion stuff, it was just lies the whole time, man. It was fluff. They used the fans. And the content creators too. They used the fans though in that situation. Because after that, Canelo went right over there to Showtime. Jake Paul went to Showtime. Canelo. And I'm going to drop a little hint on you too. It seems like every time Canelo does a move or something, Jake Paul, those guys usually move the same kind of way. So they'll tell you where all the money is or where a box is going. Because Jake Paul, he went to the Zone with Canelo. And then after that, he went to Showtime. Canelo went to Showtime right after that. Fought Caleb Plant on Showtime. Now Jake Paul is at Netflix with Mike Tyson. So, you know, these guys, they show you where the money is and who's actually selling and everything else. But, yeah, a lot of people don't question that stuff. I question everything. Everything. I question that. But they gave Crawford so much trouble for not signing with PBC, though. It's a lot of people that didn't sign on PBC. My thing was the guys on PBC wasn't even fighting each other. They just now started fighting each other. The only guys that were fighting each other on PBC was Thurman, Sean Porter, Garcia, Spence, Ugas, and all those guys started fighting each other eventually, but it wasn't a lot of action early on. Like at 154 when they had it stacked to the point where they could have fought each other. They could have had those guys at 154 on PBC have their own kind of tournament like they're doing now. But they didn't do it. They did a lot of outside fights. Some fights they keep in-house. Certain fights. It's crazy because they pick their favorites early. Like certain fights they'll do in-house. Certain fights they won't do in-house. And it's like they kind of choose who they want to promote and push long term and who they don't want to promote and push. And some of these guys, they just lose so much you can't really put them in any kind of position. But yeah, it looks weird, man. That's why when they said Bud was ducking when he didn't want to sign with PBC, it looks crazy right now. It looks crazy. Especially when you got big time fights happening on BOK Prime right now. Bro, Terrence Crawford fighting on BOK Prime has saved more careers than what any of these boxers is doing right now. He gave these boxers another platform. He co-signed another platform for these boxers to fight on, just in case they can't get a top fight with the Zone or Pro Box. Because Pro Box, they did have a lot of local fighters, but now they got a lot more big time fighters. So now, I don't know, if I'm a local fighter, I might need a BLK Prime or something right now. So they put on some good cards recently. So Terrence Crawford really did more in boxing recently than all these other guys have. Every boxer. He's done more for boxing than Devin Haney. He's done more. He's done more because now boxers trying to move from promotional company to promotional company. You got guys saying, well, like Teofimo saying, well, you doing this for Haney. Haney, he's not even that top rank no more. So you can't blame Top Rank for the Haney situation. He's not even over there no more. And all fights have iconic moments, yeah. Yeah, PBC be done in 2 years. They will. PBC was done the minute that they couldn't find anything for Deontay Wilder. The minute they couldn't find nothing for Deontay Wilder and they start dragging their feet with that whole process, that's when they start. They've been done, to be honest with you. If they couldn't, how can you not give Deontay Wilder a top opponent in a top fight after him giving you 3? Let's just say Deontay Wilder worked for y'all. Okay, let's just say y'all PBC and y'all run PBC. If Deontay Wilder just fought Tyson Fury 3 times, why would you not go give him a big fight somewhere else? Like, why would you not do that? He's one of the only guys at PBC that's actually fighting the best. You don't have to sit around and choose fights for him, and he got to fight a certain person at a certain weight, and this heavyweight too big. The minute they said they couldn't find no fights for him, I knew they was done. I knew they was done. I said, okay, cool. That's what's up. The man who helped bring the heavyweight division back, he done made all these fat rats a whole bunch of money in boxing. These dudes who ain't never threw a punch, who wear suits all day. He done helped make all these guys money in boxing. The heavyweight division was dead. It was dead as a doorknob. You had Tyson Fury and Joshua walking around. The heavyweight division was dead before Deontay Wilder jumped back into it. And PBC couldn't even take care of him. So after that, I said, yeah, that's over with, man. And nobody respects guys who helped bring back the sport of boxing. You talking about Steven Nelson? Yeah, Steven Nelson. He a beast. Yeah, Steven Nelson. That joke was funny. Yeah, that was hilarious. It made sense, but it was hilarious. Yeah, that definitely was hilarious. Yeah, but PBC, man, they ain't really putting them guys in position right now. I've noticed the people they trying to find fights for, and it's, I don't know, man, it just don't make sense right now. It don't make sense. I mean, you got Lubin around, Fundora. Those are good guys to keep active. Barrios, he's fighting on the Mike Tyson card, which is a bad sign. They don't got a lot of dates right now. The thing that's hurting these guys the most is not the money and everything. The thing that's hurting them the most is these apps and platforms where guys need to fight. PBC, with them moving away from Showtime, they only putting on 1 card a month, and they're not even doing that no more. One card a month, and you got how many boxers? So let's just say PBC got 300 boxers they need to put on this year. you only got 12 cards, and half of the cards haven't even been put up. So what? How many fights you put on this year? Put Tim Tszyu, Tank, 2 Canelo cards. I mean, I could throw the Terrence Crawford card in there. Yeah, he's talking about Steven Nelson. I could throw the Crawford card in there because they had a lot of PBC guys. I'll just do that to help them out a little bit. But no, I ain't gonna do that because I'm not a PBC event. No, I can't do that. Who else? Tim Tszyu. Yeah, they don't got no events, man. They gotta put something together. Ain't nobody developing no talent right now. They gotta do something, put it together. They got more platforms right now to develop MMA fighters right now than boxing. MMA right now, they got like 2 or 3 events that come on every week that feature prospects and people trying to get to UFC. And what UFC does, they look at those platforms the same way as Pro Box does with Angelo Leo or whatever. That's what boxers trying to do right now. They're trying to move to the format where like UFC is and all these other platforms, to where they have certain guys fight on the platform, and then later on, if they think the guys are good enough, they'll be like, okay, let's have them fight on UFC or let's have them fight on Top Rank. So that's what they're trying to do, but they got to develop some bigger names though. You said, well, I do respect Wilder for his story. He definitely helped carry American boxing for a while, but what's that say about American boxing when a C-level fighter with A-level power is your biggest name? Let me ask you a question, Mule. Hey, Mule, let me ask you a question. Because I love when people talk about Deontay Wilder. Mule, let me ask you a question. Who's the best fighter that Tyson Fury beat? Who the best fighter that Tyson Fury beat, Mule? Mule, who the best fighter that Tyson Fury beat? Because I know most people don't like Deontay Wilder. That's why I bring his name up. Because I know people don't know what they're talking about. Who the best fighter that Tyson Fury beat, Mule? And that's your answer right there. You said what? You said Klitschko? You said Klitschko was the best name? You said Klitschko was the best name? How long ago was that? How long ago was that? We can play dumb. How long ago was that? Antonio, you too. How long ago was that, Antonio? How long ago was that, Antonio? How long ago was that? How long ago was that? How long ago was that? I just want to know how long ago it was. How long ago it was? How long ago? What year? You talking about how long? You talking about how many years Vlad was undefeated? How many years was it ago? How long ago was it? How long ago was it? Don't tell me about no dude who beat somebody 15 years ago, man. Tell me how long ago it was. Y'all acting like these heavyweight boxers is really that good. Tyson Fury got knocked down by Ngannou, and he got beat by a cruiserweight. Deontay Wilder is 200 pounds. First of all, the man ain't heavy, and he don't got a lot of weight. Your best win was somebody 10 years ago. Tyson Fury has done nothing in the sport of boxing except beat a 200-pound Deontay Wilder, which he's famous for. He's not famous for beating Klitschko. So let's keep that clear right now. Tyson Fury beat Klitschko 10 years ago, and nobody cares in the sport of boxing. Nobody cares. And guess what? Didn't Anthony Joshua beat one of those Klitschkos or something like that? And look how terrible Anthony Joshua looks right now. Anthony Joshua in his prime right now, look how bad he look. So what has Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury done in the sport of boxing to where I need to go ahead and say that Deontay Wilder is a C-level fighter. Compared to who? Compared to Anthony Joshua, Deontay Wilder is a C-level fighter? Who believes that right now? This ain't 2015 no more. Compared to who that Deontay Wilder is a C-level fighter? I can make a case right now that Tyson Fury is a C-level fighter. He's never beaten a fighter the same size as him. He doesn't fight guys the same size as him. The guy that's close to his same size, he lost to. Tyson Fury, the guy who's close to Tyson Fury's size, Usyk, he beat. Usyk almost stopped Tyson Fury. He's a cruiserweight. You said Anthony Joshua beat Parker, Ruiz. Ruiz stopped Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua went 12 rounds with Andrew Ruiz. Andrew Ruiz stopped Anthony Joshua. I knew Anthony Joshua wasn't good before he got stopped by Andrew Ruiz. And he got beat by Usyk, a cruiserweight. The dude ain't never beat nobody good at heavyweight that good. Joseph Parker, okay, that's a name. Because Joseph Parker, I let that one slide. And Luis Ortiz is better than everybody you just named. Luis Ortiz is better than Ruiz. Well, nah, Ruiz beat him. But Ruiz, come on, man. If Ruiz and Ortiz was at the same age, let's keep it real. Let's be real. Ruiz ain't really like that. If we knew Ruiz was like that, we would already know. Ruiz ain't like that. He's much younger than Wilder right now. He almost gassed out his last fight. Oh, you ain't got to tear down Wilder. I'm talking facts. We're not tearing down Wilder. Everything that people done said about Wilder's already been said. So I'm not really worried about Wilder's feelings. I'm talking about the narrative everybody try to push, like these heavyweights, like Joseph Parker going 12 rounds with Wilder, or 12 rounds with Zhilei Zhang, or 12 rounds with Joshua. I don't care how many fighters Joseph Parker went 12 rounds with. He still got stopped by Joe Joyce. Joseph Parker is basically a C-level fighter in my eyes. I can make a case Joseph Parker is a C-level fighter. The only thing he did was go 12 rounds with Wilder. He ain't hurt none of them guys he was in the ring with. They ain't have no scars on him. He's not that good. He went 12 rounds with Joshua, the same Joshua that Daniel Dubois just beat down the whole fight. Daniel Dubois just destroyed Anthony Joshua. Why is Mule in here discussing who Anthony Joshua beat recently? Who cares? I done seen Deontay Wilder get in the ring with Tyson Fury, who people say is the best heavyweight in boxing, and he never looked as bad as Anthony Joshua did. And everybody talks about how they know boxing. If everybody knows boxing, why nobody told me that Anthony Joshua looks that bad? Why am I one of the only people on earth that said Anthony Joshua looks this bad? Even after, and don't say because, oh, that was just one fight. Because he looked bad against Ruiz, everybody ignored it, and he looked bad at 2 Usyk fights. So we really think that Usyk and Ruiz will go in there and outbox Deontay Wilder because he went 12 rounds with Joseph Parker and he got dropped by Zhilei Zhang. So we think Deontay Wilder is a C-level fighter, but Joseph Parker got dropped by Zhilei Zhang twice, and he's not a C-level fighter, and he hasn't even done anything in his career to even be jumping up and down about. If he beat Deontay Wilder, how was that a big win? And you went 12 rounds with him. You couldn't even drop him. You couldn't even get Deontay Wilder on the ground. Think about that. I want everybody to think about that real quick. Joseph Parker got Wilder about 20, 30 pounds. Still couldn't drop the man on the ground. Tyson Fury fought Wilder 3 times, and Wilder knocked Tyson Fury down more times than Usyk and all these other guys that people bragging about, even in Ghana. So right now, Wilder is the closest person on earth to even knocking out Tyson Fury. Usyk couldn't even get him on the ground, and people act like Usyk knocked him down 50 times. These heavyweights aren't that good, man. I'm sorry to tell y'all. I specialize in heavyweights. I was watching Joseph Parker and Andrew Ruiz almost 10 years ago. So this is nothing to me as far as boxing. You said Parker's resume is better than Wilder by far? You You said Parker's resume is better than Wilder by far? So you saying that, so you think that Joseph Parker going 12 rounds with Deontay Wilder is better than Wilder knocking out Robert Helenius in the first round, the same Robert Helenius that Anthony Joshua struggled with? So if we trying to go by common opponents and everything else like everybody's doing as far as resumes, so going 12 rounds with Wilder, that's more impressive than Wilder getting Robert Helenius out in the first round? When Anthony Joshua went life and death with Robert Helenius? Absolutely not. It sounds good, but when you really know boxing, it ain't that impressive. Joseph Parker's resume ain't that good, brother. It ain't no... Andrew Ruiz's resume is probably better than Joseph Parker's. Just because he beat Deontay Wilder, who cares? Deontay Wilder, a C-level fighter. That's what everybody said. So you don't get credit for beating a C-level fighter. You didn't beat Joshua, and you got dropped twice by Zane. So the only win Joseph Parker does have is Deontay Wilder. But how is he a C-level fighter when everybody's saying that beating Deontay Wilder is a big deal? He beat Wilder and that man stopped him. Why is beating Deontay Wilder a big deal if you went 12 rounds with him? How is that a big deal when he's a C-level fighter who can't box? So if a guy can't box and you go 12 rounds with him as a heavyweight, what does that say about you? That's your best win, is going 12 rounds with Deontay Wilder? Do you know that was the first time Deontay Wilder went 12 rounds? Maybe that should be something that people should remember about. I know that. I know Parker will beat Andrew Ruiz. That's why I picked Andrew Ruiz to beat Anthony Joshua, because I knew Anthony Joshua wasn't better than Joseph Parker. And he's still not. That's why. He said Tyson really went 3-0 versus Wilder. You're not explaining anything I said, bro. I've seen Tyson Fury go out there and look worse against Ngannou than Deontay Wilder has ever looked against Tyson Fury. And Tyson Fury doesn't weigh 200 pounds. So imagine if Tyson Fury was 200 pounds like Wilder and he was trying to fight Ngannou the same way he did in the fight last year. It wouldn't have went 2 rounds, man. You gotta understand that a lot of y'all are talking as if y'all are talking like Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury didn't lose to a cruiserweight. Deontay Wilder just lost to 2 of the best heavyweights in the world. Zhilei Zhang and Joseph Parker. Joseph Parker's the best name on Anthony Joshua's resume besides these other guys y'all trying to name. So Joseph Parker is the best name on. He did the same thing against Joshua. I mean, he went 12 rounds. And he went 12 rounds against Anthony Joshua. Anthony Joshua can't box like that. Have we seen recently? Did anybody see the Dubois fight? Or am I losing my mind right now? Or did I see Danny Dubois versus? Am I the only one who's seen that fight? I don't think people understand that. I'm not going at y'all because y'all said Wilder trash or nothing like that. I'm just going at the fact that people think this is normal to actually. You said no disrespect, but Wilder isn't the fighter that Usyk is, and I'm not joking, bro. Y'all didn't even think that Anthony Joshua had a chance against Usyk. I mean, Usyk had a chance against Anthony Joshua. What are you talking about? I didn't ask y'all to run a rematch back against Usyk versus Joshua. I never thought that Joshua was that good. I never thought that, bro. I mean, you on the wrong channel. Y'all trying to talk to me as if Deontay Wilder is the guy that y'all say Anthony Joshua is. Y'all been saying all these years Anthony Joshua's that good. Anthony Joshua is one of the worst boxers in heavyweight boxing. He didn't win a round versus Dubois. He did worse than Big Baby Miller. Joshua just fought worse than Big Baby Miller and Hrgovic. 2 guys I wanted him to fight. Joshua couldn't even fight better than Hrgovic and Big Baby Miller. Dude, I don't know if anybody understands this. Y'all been saying Anthony Joshua is the best heavyweight this era. Everybody been saying Wilder's been ducking Anthony Joshua the last 10 years. I don't know if anybody notices or not, but boxing is not. Boxing is changing, brother. This ain't 2020. This ain't 2018. This ain't 2021. Boxing is changing. This ain't the old days. Those little narratives everybody pushing as far as these boxers getting exposed, man. I don't know if everybody know that. You can throw a name out there right now. Usyk exposed all these heavyweights. And all Dubois did was hit a home run with it. When nobody running around talking about Daniel Dubois, they call Daniel Dubois a quitter. I heard people call Daniel Dubois a quitter because he lost to Usyk at 25 years old. But people think they're boxing experts. So for some reason, people thinking if a 25-year-old loses to Usyk, he's a quitter. If a 25-year-old loses to Usyk, he's a quitter. Think about that. You said I never thought AJ was special, more of a bodybuilder than boxer. Yeah, but the way people be talking about bringing Wilder name up, it just be like, bro, come on, man. Like everybody, people. I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. Everything that people said about Wilder is what happened to Anthony Joshua. We found out he can't box. We found out that he robotic. We found out that he ain't even got a right hand. He don't even got a right hand. Let's just talk about that right now. Deontay Wilder got a right hand. Joshua don't even got a right hand. I feel like the Ngannou fight was fake. You said American boxing has fell off. Fallen off? Can you admit to that? How is American boxing falling off? How is American boxing fell off? And since Canelo has came to America and started fighting in America in like the last 15 years, he's only had like 45% knockout rate. What do you mean? How can America boxing fall off and Tim Tszyu can't get a win in America? Ain't Tim Tszyu 0-2 in America? It ain't that easy trying to get a win in America. I don't know if everybody know that or not. Ain't Tim Tszyu like 0-2? I'm just checking for a friend. Ain't Tim Tszyu 0-2? Hasn't Teofimo Lopez only fought like one American fighter in the last 15 years? What you mean American boxing is falling off? What are you talking about? Did you not just see two Japanese fighters lose to South African fighters last week? I just seen two. You said, so who was on the up and come up? Did you not just see two Japanese fighters lose to African fighters last week? I don't hear nobody running around saying Japanese boxing is falling off. I don't understand that. A question when people say that. I think people just hoping that American boxing falls off. That's why you get a lot of robberies and people be like, yeah. I think that's more of a people want it to fall off. I never heard people saying that hasn't fit. I don't know. Has UK boxing fell off? I mean, we just had Joshua and Fury lose to two guys who they weren't supposed to lose to. I don't know. You said outside 130, 35, 47, 54. I think that's only one. That's the only divisions that have American champions. Bro, nobody cares about champions in boxing, bro. We all know that all these guys in America are fighting each other right now, bro. That's all we need to know, bro. I'm gonna just keep it real with you. That's all we know. The fact that you said all that, you do realize Anthony Joshua and Ngannou was the last, fight over there? I don't think Fury and, did Fury and Joshua fight yet? I don't know. Like, what big fights are happening to the point where, like, bro, a lot of these guys ain't fighting because they trying to hold on to a belt. A lot of these guys are not getting in tough fights because they're trying to hold on to a belt, man. I understand what's going on in boxing. A lot of people are not, bro. The people you talking about, Inoue just fought a guy who lost 4 times in the last 6 years, man. Let's be real. Inoue just fought a guy who got like 6 losses, and he got away with it, and fans are okay with it. How many fans do you think Inoue has to the point where he just fought a guy who got like 6 losses, and nobody cares? How many diehard fans you think he got? Why do fans care about who Terrence Crawford fights more than they care about who Inoue fights? Why do fans care about who Terrence Crawford fight more than they care about Canelo fighting or Tyson Fury? Why can Tyson Fury fight the MMA guy, but Terrence Crawford can't? Bro, these guys you talking about, they're not even fighting each other, bro. Didn't Bitterbiv and Bivol just fight each other? And Bitterbiv almost 40 years old? Didn't Bitterbiv just tell you that he was looking to fight Bivol for the last umpteen years? These guys ain't fighting nobody outside. They ain't fighting each other outside of America. We know this already. We've seen guys come over here for years and fight. Whether it's Triple G or we know the activity and all the other stuff kicking in. You're going to have more fight guys in America lose because you ain't fighting like that. I mean, can Michael Jordan just get up and try to play a game 6 after sitting out the whole year? Like, what are we talking about? Of course it's going to be losses. I heard a whole bunch of people have excuses about Tyson Fury lose last year. Bro, let me tell you something. When I heard all these fans out here who act like they live with Tyson Fury, people really lied. People told the biggest lie last year. People act like they live with Tyson Fury. Tyson Fury's own family doesn't even know. His own father doesn't even know if he trained last year for the Ngannou fight. But we got people out here like, yeah, and Tyson Fury, he didn't even train for that fight. So I know when people are fanned out over certain fighters and everything else. And that's just one of the cases where they was fanned out. But that dude, he lost fair and square, man. He got whooped. If that would have been Deontay Wilder that got beat by Ngannou like that, people would still be talking about it. So let's go back to that, Mule. Since you want to bring up Wilder earlier, if Wilder would have got beat up like that against Ngannou, would you still say that he had a chance against Usyk in the second fight? No, you would not. You would not want to see Deontay Wilder fight twice against Usyk after getting dropped against Ngannou. But I wonder why it's okay now. I wonder why Anthony Joshua getting a rematch against Dubois, a 27-year-old who just beat him across the ring and he mopped him up like he basically was looking like he was mopping up a puddle in the boxing ring. He wasn't even boxing. He looked like he was just mopping up a puddle. And he lost every round, every second of that fight. He looked worse than Wilder did in Zane's fight. And for some reason, he still has a chance in boxing. I'm confused on that end. I don't think people understand that. This man, listen to what I just said. This man has lost to Ngannou. Well, he basically lost in my eyes. I'm going to say it, he lost. If you ain't doing no press conference after the fight, and then the next day you got a black eye, you lost. You probably ain't lose the fight, but you lost everything that had to do with the fight. Couldn't even show your face to the public. Yeah, man, I ain't gonna sit up here and just cap on the channel now. This ain't what we do. I mean, everybody got an opinion. Ain't nobody wrong. But I ain't got no answers to the question I've been asking yet. Have y'all noticed Antonio gave me answers. Mule ain't said nothing though. Mule ain't said nothing, not one question I done asked, but he came here saying all this stuff. Mule doing all this typing, but he ain't answering nothing. Mule ain't really answering nothing. That's why I'm kind of like disappointed. Mule, you said America only got 6 champions. Let me ask you a question. All those champions, name champions from other countries that put on big fights recently. that didn't have to do with Turkey Al-Rashid? I'll wait on you. Name those champions you thinking about right now who got belts that's not American. What big fights they put on recently in boxing that's helping pushing boxing forward? Since you know so much about boxing, you want attention now. So what champions are that's not American that is actually pushing the sport forward? Who did Inoue fight to push the sport forward? That wasn't American. I'll wait on it. Who did Pacquiao fight that wasn't American to help push the sport forward? You sound crazy, bro. Like, really, you sound like a hater right now. Whatever country you from, they ain't doing enough because you ain't talking about them. Whatever country you from, they ain't doing enough, it sound like. Where country are you from? Are you from the UK? What fights are you talking about where it's like, oh well, America's only got 6 champions? Bro, that's casual talk. That's casual talk. Yeah, he said Fury should have been disqualified. That's casual talk, bro. That's casual talk. You said America bombing back. That's casual talk, man. Relax, man. You sound like you got a new toy. You know what it sound like? It sound like you got a couple of boxers out of your country that's making some noise right now. Just like everybody was trying to act like Tim Tszyu and Poirot. I'm like, yeah, Tim Tszyu and Poirot, I like them. They very good fighters. Oh, man, Australia coming to take over America now. I'm like, bro, okay, man. All right, bro. That's what y'all think of boxing. So now the internet is starting to prove to me now that everybody wants to come to America and destroy it. That's why I can't even trust the people who move to America. Because of people like this guy. You see why we don't trust people in America now? You see why everybody think people are so racist in America? Because this dude talking about American boxing like it's just trash right now. It has zero credibility in boxing. You see why we can't trust nobody in boxing? You see why we always call things robberies? Because of people like this. This dude said American boxing. Come on, man. Like, why does that always come up? Don't Asia have some of the best martial arts? Do I sit over here and be like, man, we'll go over here and beat everybody in martial arts in Asia? In Asia, man, they martial arts falling off, man. I think we could put John Jones over there. Come on, man. That sounds so stupid. What do they get these guys, man? These guys always, that's why we stay out of politics. They always try to make something political. Why we just can't talk about boxing? We were talking about Wilder and all that. Now we talking about American boxing. And come on, man. God. Yeah, man, we gotta get these weirdos out of boxing, bro. To be honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. We gotta get these weirdos out of boxing. And if we don't, the sport gonna get lost forever. It's already gone now because Jake Paul. If Jake Paul say something right now, a lot more people will believe Jake Paul than they would believe Terrence Crawford. That tells you everything you need to know right there. They believe Jake Paul before they'll believe Terrence Crawford. No, it ain't no debate, bro. You ain't saying no facts. Ain't nothing to debate. Ain't nothing to debate, bro. You ain't saying no facts. Ain't nothing to debate. Ain't nothing to debate at all. Everybody who said all that stuff about America falling and it's falling off, everybody talking about, let me go ahead and say this now. Now, I'll be wrong if I sit out here and call out everybody who said that American, the heavyweights, is trash. But then when I call out Anthony Joshua and Tyson Fury, don't nobody got nothing to say, though. But y'all worried about Jaron Anderson, a prospect at 24 years old, a prospect? Y'all worried about a prospect getting beat? Is that what American, that's what heavyweight boxing is now, beat the American? I thought we was giving y'all credit on Rocky IV. We put a Drago on there. Man, y'all gonna lose that game every time, man. I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. Y'all not even fighting big heavyweights from America. It's not even big heavyweights. 200-pound heavyweights and a prospect that's 24 years old. That's what everybody running around celebrating. Come on, man. And they wonder why boxing is a low-grade sport. When has anybody run around and celebrated a prospect getting beat? Think about that. These people were running around celebrating prospects getting beat this year. Prospects. That's how desperate they looking for a win this year. Prospects. And we talking about Wilder and the sport, man. These guys ain't winning. I don't know why people be talking about heavyweight boxing, man. I don't know why this conversation then went this way, but it has. I don't know why people talk about heavyweight boxing. Like these guys are just at a whole nother level. Joseph Parker only beat Deontay Wilder. He went 12 rounds. Who cares? The dude got knocked out by Joe Joyce. Do people not understand that? He got knocked out by Joe Joyce. He probably has won a couple of fights, but he's got knocked out before. And at the best, oh, you from Australia? Oh, that makes sense. Okay. And you just seen Tim Tszyu get beat like how he did recently. And you worried about America? Man, please. Tim Tszyu finna fire everybody that's on his team, and you worried about America? Come on, man. I see you ain't put Justice Huni up there because he almost got stopped in one of those fights he was in. I see you ain't put TJ Doheny up there because he quit. You put Kambosos up there? Come on, man. I don't know if you know it. This dude got me tripping, bro. Kambosos is not even a big fighter in America. Not right now. They only like Kambosos because he beat Teofimo Lopez. He's not even a big time fighter, man. I don't know why people do that all the time. They try to hype these fighters up and these. Like, it be so hilarious to me, bro. It really does. 0, probably right now. Probably 1 or 2. Probably like 2 or 3. Probably. But I seen what they got coming up out of there. Come on, man. I don't even know why people do that. The whole country stuff. We try to stay away from stuff like that, but guys be trying to play World War III with boxing, and it ain't gonna work, man. A lot of y'all need to compete with Russia. If y'all want to compete with anybody, you need to compete with Russia, Ukraine, and Mexico. Because y'all ain't got none of them beat. Australia ain't got Russia beat. It ain't got Ukraine beat. It ain't got, who else? Canada. Who said y'all can beat Canada? What? Y'all can't even compete with Canada. Canada and France. And Argentina will probably put y'all out. I don't know why guys be thinking that just the boxers over here, they ain't champions right now. Cause we fighting each other. Cause we carrying the sport over here. Everybody else ain't fighting each other. These other places ain't carrying the sport right now, man. They failing. A lot of these people destroying the sport right now. They just eating off the sport right now. They're not doing anything for the sport. They're not putting us in a good place to win or eat. Yeah, a lot of people just eating off the sport right now, man. Look how many fighters we got right now that's jumping out here trying to fight for Tim Tszyu. Yeah, look, let me tell you how nice America is. When Tim Tszyu came over here to fight in March, they gave Tim Tszyu the option of fighting Danny Garcia. That didn't happen. He tried to fight Keith Thurman. And as a late replacement, a backup fight, as a late replacement, they gave Tim Tszyu a fight with Fundora as a late replacement. Now tell me, what other country would you go to where they're going to give you 3 fights like that and give you Fundora as your backup fight? No country, because they ain't got the talent to do it. That's why. Why you think these guys waiting to go to Turkey Al-Sheikh to make these fights so they can get enough money for their fighters? I think people got it twisted when they see Turkey Al-Sheikh in boxing. Turkey Al-Sheikh is not in boxing because America needs boxing. Turkey Al-Sheikh is in boxing because everybody else needs help in boxing. I'll just let everybody think about that for a moment. Turkey Al-Sheikh is not in boxing because Tank Davis need help, Devin Haney, Shakur Stevenson. Last time I checked, the only Americans that fought with Turkey Al-Sheikh was Wilder and a couple of other guys recently. Ray Ford, M.O. Williams, Big Baby Miller. That was like the first couple. So everybody ain't coming over here just jumping in and doing all that. But yeah, man, we've been carrying the sport of boxing over here, bro. I don't know why people say that, man. I really don't. I mean, I have the facts to back it up. I do. I really do. The facts definitely can back it up. They definitely can back it up. Ain't no faces of boxing in no other country anyways. When we start saying that, Inoue, you know why we can't say Inoue is the face of boxing? Because the guys that he's facing are not going on to pay-per-views and doing their own kind of pay-per-views. Or they're not headlining certain cards. You say, you know, this is the weakest time for American boxing. How could this be the weakest time for American boxing when, as a whole, most of the time, 99.9% of the time, 100% of the time, the face of boxing is always American. That's just the end of the story. Canelo was holding it down for a little bit, but he really dropped the ball. He said cocky Americans. No, America's not really cocky. If America was cocky, we'll be sitting up here talking about how trash some of these other countries is who get 2 or 3 fighters. Some of these other countries, they get 2 or 3 fighters. Bro, Martin Bakole just beat a prospect. And everybody's running around like he just beat Holyfield or somebody. He just beat a 24-year-old prospect at the age of 32. I think he's 31. He might be 32 soon. He might be 32 now. At the age of 32, Bakole just beat a 24-year-old prospect. And everybody acting like it's a career win because the guy's American. And these are the same fans that sat up here and said that Danny Dubois is finished. Man, you know what time it is, bro. Ain't nobody. The sport of boxing is dead right. That's why you think the Olympics is dead right now. We got all these other countries dominated in Olympic boxing. Nobody cares about Olympic boxing. They care about Olympic basketball because of you know who. But nobody cares about Olympic boxing, man. It's already been exposed. It's already been exposed. But yeah, I never understood why people think that I'm just gonna gloss over it. Bro, I don't care if I gotta say this every day for the rest of my life. Because when I've been hearing people say recently about how good of a boxer Anthony Joshua is over the years, bro, y'all gotta stand on this. And nobody wants to admit that they've been saying that. But It's gonna be said forever though. Wilder's a C-level fighter. I can't believe people are still walking around like that after what Joshua just did against a little guy, Daniel Dubois, who's a young guy compared to him. That's a young guy compared to him. You know what I'm saying? That's a young guy compared to him. I can't believe we celebrate stuff like that. Like, people don't understand what is really going on in boxing now. That's something I got to get to too. Oh, all them people be hating America like that. It be people that's living in America that hate America like that. That's why we got so many issues now. It's not really, the weird part about it is, Nello, a lot of guys that stay in America talk like that. So he might be right here in America. That's why it's so dangerous over here. That's why it's so dangerous over here. That's why people is like, man, that's why people are be scared for people to come to America. Because a lot of guys who come to America have that mindset. Seek and destroy. They don't come to America to build. They come to America to destroy, to tear down. They're not coming to America. Like, he's literally telling you that, hey, my people don't come to America to build up American boxing. We come to tear it down and destroy it because we're jealous and we don't like it. He's basically telling you everything you need to know. Oh, yeah, I know you're in the backyard. Absolutely. 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 Because the place you're from, you destroyed it. Because the place you're from, you destroyed it. I know that. I know y'all destroy the places y'all from, then you come here and you throw mud on the wall. Yeah, I know all that. Yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. That's why channels like mine are hard to find as far as boxing, because a lot of people cater to these guys. They cater to guys like this. This guy has no loyalty to anybody or anything. And that's usually what boxing fans are. They have no loyalty to the sport of boxing. They plant their flag in a certain backyard, and that's what it was. That's why it got weird just now. You see how everybody got quiet about the Wilder situation, conversation? I ain't saying nothing. I was just answering everybody's questions. But when you start saying some facts, though, what happened? Everybody get quiet because they know what time it is. And the narratives is cool in boxing. If that's what it takes to sell tickets, that's all right. But man, I'll expose all that little narratives people been pushing. People don't realize I picked Anthony Joshua to beat Daniel Dubois because I knew if he lost that fight, I was not going to let up on all these fans who've been saying that Wilder and everybody else is trash in America and overrated boxing, ain't never beat nobody, resume is this, blah, 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 blah. Bro, everybody who pushes those narratives and the YouTubers who help them push it, they're gonna die on that hill. It's over with for all these guys who've been doing that. All those videos y'all heard about Joshua being the best heavyweight of all time, they might as well go delete those videos because nobody believes it. All those excuses people had about Fury being out of shape, nobody cares. He still lost to Usyk. So as much as those excuses, everybody said, oh, well, Wilder, he blaming the heavy suit. And he blaming this, and he blaming that, and he blaming this on the loss. I haven't heard anybody talking about Tyson Fury blaming his loss on a miscarriage. He blame that boy he blamed his wife out here for his loss. Allegedly. But Wilder, he got a heavy suit and he got skinny legs and this and that. Okay, but did he knock down Fury more times than all these other guys did? Everybody just acting like Usyk was just a super boxer like that. Tyson Fury ain't that good. All Tyson Fury did was fight a guy the same size as him. Joshua fought a guy the same size as him. Tyson Fury fought a guy the same size as him. It's sad that I got to break down boxing to the dumbest decimal I gotta speak stupid in boxing for people to understand it. But Tyson Fury fought a guy around the same size as him. But Anthony Joshua fought a guy the same size as him. And usually when he did that, like what he did with Andrew Ruiz, he lost. And I've been trying to say that for years. Weight bully stuff. I know people like to say weight bully now, but these guys are weight bullies, man. Bro, I'm going to block you, bro, if you sit up here and say anything else. If you say anything else that's trolling, I'm going to block you. And you won't say nothing else ever again. Because really, I was entertaining you as far as the boxing, but the other stuff, I'm not finna entertain. I'm going to just block you, and you won't be on this channel ever again. It'll be that simple. And that's my first and last warning. Because right now, you got good access to good boxing and free news and truth about boxing, and you're trolling about America and everything else. Ain't nobody trying to hear that, man. For real. I'm not trying to hear none of that right now. What you talking about? I let you go on for a while, but nah, you acting stupid now. You think I only got a couple people in here because I wanted to be like that? Yeah, I do. This dude is tripping, man. He's sitting out here talking about nothing. I gotta get up out of here anyways.